ranks. They brought him in from Nevis, Ross Powell, but it will be the Beamers who are batting first. It's Newman who's into bowl to Akeem Saunders, and Saunders is blocking back down the track for a no run. It seems to be Damian Williams and Akeem Saunders, the opening pair for the Beamers. What it does.
As you said.
Here comes Newman again, and Saunders is on the back foot, and they're pushing down to mid-on for a single.
Single to Saunders.
Yes.
Who's the bowler?
Newman. That's the first run of the innings. A single goes to Saunders. As waiting on a change in field. For the first time, we'll be seeing Williams facing Tariq Newman. Here's Newman now between umpire and stumps around the wicket to bowl to Williams, who's again forward and pushing defensively. It will be a dot ball. Newman once again. He's into bowl to Williams, and again he's pushing into the offside but not getting a run. Very tight line thus far by Tariq Newman. Going to be Newman once again. Around the wicket, left arm around to bowl to Williams. A full toss, and Williams drives it down towards the long off boundary. Where the fielding is done by Cheidyn Carmichael. It will be a single. It's going to be Tariq Newman again. Between the umpire and stumps to bowl to Akeem Saunders. Saunders is again pushing defensively towards the onside, but yet again it will be no run. Very good over at the end of this first over by Newman. Just the two off it, it's two without loss.
Yes, very good economical over there by Newman. Realizing he fell right into a good line, a good length, and he forced the batsman to be defending for the better part of the over. So a pretty good first over, a very good start here by the Pointers against the Beamers, the top of the table contenders, and certainly this match will be very important for them and probably for the rest of the league.
So it is going to be, looks like Rian Solomon, the left-arm pacer, who will be taking up the attack from the commentary box end. Solomon here bowls a very good left-arm pace. He does get a bit of movement in towards the right-hander naturally with his arm action. Generates a fair bit of bounce as well. He will be coming in from this commentary booth end in conversation with Carmichael right now. Carmichael, of course, would have been selected to the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots squad for the Caribbean Premier League. A very good, young, talented left-arm spinner. The deep third man and the deep fine leg, the two men out of the ring right now. A slip is being put in place as well. The captain himself, Leon Lake, is going to slip, as it's going to be Solomon who's going to abort this run-up. Seems to be more of a practice run-up than anything. Four men on the leg side with five on the off. It's a deep third, deep fine leg, a square leg, mid-wicket, mid-on, mid-off, cover point. It's the field with a slip in place as Rian Solomon is in now to bowl to Damian Williams, and Williams is trying to turn it into the leg side, It will be a wide call and signaled by the umpire. The first extra of the game. It's going to be Ryan Solomon in again. Bounce away to bowl to Williams. That's a much better line and length. Williams is forward and pushing defensively for no run. Thanks. Here comes Solomon again. And this one is bouncing sharply on Damian Williams. He was going for the cut, but the ball rose on him and he got his bat out of the way at the last second. Good bounce being generated by the very tall Ryan Solomon.
Yes, very good delivery there. Batsman at one stage looking to come forward, but then realized that the ball was pitched and dug in and coming high across his nose. He just had to rock out of the way.
Still 3 without loss. 3 without loss. 1 to Saunders, 1 to Williams and the wide. Here comes Ryan Solomon again. He's going to bowl to Williams. This one is wrapping him on the pads. About not out, says the umpire. Maybe a bit of height there. Again, he generates a lot of bounce, does Ryan Solomon.
Yes, some bounce. And umpire Calvin Hughes right in line and position and immediately shook his head, saying it was not out. So good delivery nonetheless, testing the batsman, and that is what you need in these first few overs, for the bowlers to test the batsman, to give them no room that they can play their strokes, just bowling line and length. He hasn't developed into the pace that I'm sure he would want to generate, but he'll get there eventually.
Here comes Solomon again to bowl to Williams, who's pushing into the offside and will get a quick single. Ricardo John, I believe, does the fielding. There is another run to Damian Williams. He is on to 2. Saunders is still 1. The score is a 4 without loss in the course of over number 2. 4 without loss. Beamer's winning the toss and opting to bat first. Beamer's having a very good looking side on paper. Very good looking side on paper. I have a few subs as well. This is going to be Ryan Solomon again, waiting on Saunders to get set. Solomon now runs away from us, over the wicket to bowl to Saunders, who's getting this one, turning it into the leg side to a square leg for a single. Saunders moves on to 2. It's 5 without loss. 5 for no loss. In the course of over number 2, it's Ryan Solomon. He's taking his time to get through this over. Runs in now, over the wicket to bowl to Williams. Williams is back and guiding this one beautifully past point. They will get 1, looking for the second. That's kept it brilliantly down there at the third man boundary. That's spectacular work to keep it to just 2.
Yes, excellent piece of fielding there by the man running around from almost a third man position and going just back for the point and picking up, and certainly a very good piece of fielding. This would inspire the rest of the players to continue this good job, because they realize that they have to keep things tight with this match against the Beamers, because any slip-ups the Beamers can take and capitalize on it.
The end of a 2, it's 7 without loss. A very well, not quite slow, but a very, what you would say, an inauspicious start really for the Beamers. We've not seen any of these two batters go for an expansive stroke just yet, as immediately there will be a change in bowling from the Polyclinic end. Will there be? Actually, no, it is going to be Newman who does continue. It is going to be Newman to continue from the Polyclinic end. Keeper changing his gears. It's the wicketkeeper in Randy Gomez. Now shifting his pads and putting on the helmet. Changing in the field as well. As we have just a three-man lakeside field. A deep long off, and a deep cover. The two fielders out. Just three in the lakeside. Newman to bowl to Saunders, who takes full advantage and carves it all the way over long on for 6. A brilliantly timed stroke by Akeem Saunders.
Yes, certainly a good stroke. Pitched up, and Saunders was on it in a flash, obviously realizing that it was a loose delivery from the bowler, and he gave it the full treatment. So good stroke there from the batsman Saunders, and certainly the Beamers would feel much better here because the 2 overs gone, they just had 7 runs.
Newman and again, and it's pushed into the offside by Saunders for a single. Newman and again, he's bowling to Williams now, who's back and tugging it, and it's a misfield there at short mid wicket. They will get one, and they will come back for the second quite comfortably as well. It's poor fielding there at mid wicket. Looks like the man Ricardo John. Williams moves on to 6. Saunders is 9. 16 the score as Newman is in now. The ball to Williams, who's back and cutting, trying to get past point. Another misfield, but Garvey cleans up, so there will be just a single. 17 without loss here in the course of the 3rd over. Not as economical of an over as Tariq Newman's first. This one, he's been a bit more expensive. He's in again now with Tariq Newman. Between umpire and stumps, left arm around the wicket, into bowl to Akeem Saunders. It's going to be pushed beautifully down into the offside, but brilliant fielding down there means it is just a single. But that was timed superbly by Akeem Saunders.
Certainly was. A lovely looking stroke. Deserved 4, but well fielded in the deep, and certainly restricting the batsman to just 1.
A meeting in the middle between Saunders and Williams. It's going to be Tariq Newman. From the Polyclinic end, he's into bowl to Damian Williams. He fires this one, but Williams is going to just push it into the offside and take the single. That could have been 2 runs, but no, Williams, he's not the fleetest of foot between the wickets. So at the end of 3, it's 19 without loss. A good over for the Beamers.
Yes, excellent over for the Beamers. After a very slow start, picking up the pace a bit and playing some lovely strokes, the 2 batsmen for the Beamers, Saunders and Williams. And looking now, they probably had a look at first at the bowling before they decided, well, it's time we can play some strokes here, realizing that the Beamers will need a good total and a good start in order to compete here against the Pointers, who have played well in this tournament thus far and is top of the table.
What the Beamers can afford to do is they can afford to play their shots because they have a deep batting lineup, especially with the addition of Daniel Durham to their batting and bowling attack. He takes some of that power hitting pressure off of Shaka Hodge really later in the innings, because you know Durham, he's a very big hitter of the ball. Solomon will be continuing the attack now from the commentary box end. Left arm over the wicket to bowl to Damian Williams. So this delivery, Williams is carving it straight to extra cover, and that's going to be the end of Damian Williams' innings. That's a great catch taken there, and Williams has to go.
Well, that's a beautiful stroke, and one would say an excellent catch at cover. He hit it straight, hard, but direct to the man, and the catch was taken. So after what looked to be a productive innings here by Williams, has ended in sort of unfortunate circumstances, because he really hit it well. Maybe hit it too well and hit it straight to the man there at extra cover. So not the type of start that the Beamers would have wished. Winning the toss, when you win the toss, you expect that you would want a good start, and you want to put the pressure on the fielding side so that they will have to make immediate changes in their bowling attack. And this has not happened because the Pointers, they have been pretty much in control. They haven't allowed the Beamers to run away as such, and therefore they were able to continue maintaining that good line and length and attacking both batsmen, and in the end they picked up the wicket of Williams.
Williams goes for 8, and it brings Dion Burton to the crease. Burton, the wicketkeeper batsman, a left-hander, and again, as was stated in his last innings, he loves to play behind point and behind square. He's very good, really square of the wickets, but he does pack a punch. He's very diminutive, but he can strike a ball a fair distance. Solomon picking up another wicket to add to his tally. And it sparks an immediate change in the field, the introduction of a new batsman. You see that they've done their research on him, because they have a man at cover point and a point, as well as a deep third man. It's going to be Solomon again. Left arm over the wicket to bowl to Dion Burton, and to this delivery, Burton is driving but not making good contact, but straight to short, extra cover for no run. It's been a very good start for the Pointers in terms of their bowling. Newman had bowled a very good first over, but the second over was a bit more expensive, but Solomon has bowled well. He's formed his line very early, really, and has been able to adjust it to both the left and the right-hander. Not bowling with the pace he would have previously, but he is generating some good bounce. As you can see, this one is going to strike Burton on the hip area. He's trying to pull what may have been rushed for pace just a bit. It's going to be no run. Some good bowling by Rian Solomon thus far. Solomon once again turning at the top of his mark. He's in now to bowl to the wicketkeeper batsman Dion Burton, and Burton is trying to clip it, but Solomon got his radar wrong. That will be a wide called and signaled by the umpire. Second wide bowl for the day by Rian Solomon. It is still 19 for 1, as here comes Solomon again. over the wicket to bowl to Dion Burton, and Burton is clipping it down to mid-on. He will pick up a single. Burton is off the mark. The score has moved on by 1 to 20. $20 for Warner here in the course of the 4th over. Field shifts over to the right-handed Akeem Saunders, who's already found the boundary today with a wonderful stroke over long on for 6. Will he look to replicate that, as it's going to be Rion Solomon once again. Left arm over the wicket. He's into bowler to Akeem Saunders, but he will have to do that one again. He missed his run there. It was 40 for 1 on the check. Here's Solomon once again. Left arm over the wicket to bowl to Akeem Saunders, and Saunders is fishing outside the line of the off stump. Luckily for him, he did not make contact. Well, over in Providence, Guyana, Bangladesh, they are pretty much about to whitewash the West Indies in search of 178 for victory. They are 80 for 2 in the course of the 21st over. They are about to whitewash the West Indies in the ODI series taking place in Guyana. As it's going to be Rion Solomon again. Left arm over the wicket. He is into bowl now to Akeem Saunders, who's trying to cut, but the ball is still a bit low. So it came off the bottom portion of the bat. It is going to be a no runner. So at the end of 4, a very good over for Rion Solomon, picking up a wicket in that one. It's 20 for 1.
20 for 1 on a bright sunny day here at the change round of Webster Park, going at some 5 runs and over in this 20-over match. And the scores this season have been relatively small, so I do not know whether we're heading into the same this afternoon. But batting first, it's either batting first or second, it makes a major difference, because the pitch seems to have been quite steady in playing quite a nice little pitch by our curator, John. Thanks, Mr. Cameraman. So it's 20 for the loss of 1 wicket, and we're into the 5th over. And let me welcome Millie to the microphone.
Thank you very much, Hodge. 20 for 1. 20 for 1. It's going to be Northern Lake. He's going to be taking up the attack from the Central Polyclinic end. He's going to be bowling to Burton. Burton is driving, full pitch delivery. He drives wide to the right of mid-off. Fields. Score moves on by 1 to 21. 21 for... Going to be Northern Lake to continue. Here is going to be Northern Lake. He's making some changes to his field. Here it is Saunders. Saunders is on 10. The man gone was the man for it. Here is shot in the air. He's gonna go over the top, and he goes in. Oh, that's a brilliant effort. A brilliant effort there, and it goes into the bunker for 4 all. Not short of an effort there at all. Ball over his left shoulder. He got a hand to it, but could not hold it in, and the ball races across the bunker for 4.
Certainly a very gallant attempt there, going full length to his left, ball that was skied into the offside, and the batting side actually made mockery of the whole thing, and getting 4 runs from what possibly could have been enough.
Here is Nardell to bowl. This one is in the air. This is a good shot. High, hard, handsome. It goes away for 6 more. And Akim Sanders, he is in a no-nonsense mood this evening as he races to 20 and the score races on to 32 for 1.
Getting very close to the pitch of that one, was somewhat flighted from Nardell Lake and actually gave it the treatment it deserved.
32 for 1 in the course of over number 5. Akim Sanders in the form of his life here. APL Season 2 2022 has really been dominating, and the Beavers would want him to stay there, not their league, but have different ideas, making some adjustment in his field. Here is Northern League to bowl to Sanders. Bowl to Sanders to this delivery. Sanders is pushing it to his right, and he's going to get runs here. Down to 1, down to long on. He moves on by 1 to 21, and the total moves on to 33. 33 for 1. The man gone is Damian Williams. He went for 8. Brings Burton on strike. Wicket-keeper batsman. Here is Northern Lake between umpire and stumps. Around the wicket, ball to Burton, a shot. That was short. And Burton eyes lit up and he was looking for a big shot over the road. Didn't make contact. The ball really didn't bounce off.
Yeah, certainly the ball kept a bit lower than he anticipated. He was trying to heave that in the onside with no luck.
Here is Nardell. This one is punching straight to extra cover, can't score. Burton, he remains on 2, brings over number 5 to an end, and at the end of 5, it is 33, BMS 33 for 1.
Certainly mixed fortunes in that 5th over. Catch being dropped in the cover point region, went for 4, and then a lofty shot over, wide, long off, and the scoring seemed to have picked up a bit. So we are now at the end of the 5th over, and we are going just over 6 runs and over the base.
Yes, and so the Beavers will want to continue to send that scoring rate in the upward spiral. It's going to be a bowling change from this. The commentators both end, and we need to see who. Is it going to be Gomez? Who's the new bowler? It's going to be Carmichael, sorry. It's Cheidyn Carmichael, who is going to be taking up the attack from Gomez, the wicket keeper. So it's going to be Carmichael, left arm. Chairman bowler is going to come around the wicket, bowling to Sanders, and the kind of mood Sanders is in, Carmichael will have to really be on the money straight away. Beautiful sunshine here at the James Ronald Webster Park. Here is Carmichael, left arm, between umpire and stump to bowl to Sanders. Sanders is forcing this one to cover point. Trouble here. Oh, Burton is fast. Burton is fast. I think it should have gone to the non-strikers end, because Burton was always going to go through. Sanders was the man who delayed, but in the end, they went to the keeper's end. No harm done. So,
certainly a marginal run in that case. Millie played out of the covers and quickly responding. Burton, as you said, is quite a quick runner. Very quick between the wickets, and maybe my bit of advice is that they should have gone to the non-strikers end.
Indeed. So the field change is over to accommodate the left-handed batsman. Ralph, as I'm seeing at the listing before me, the pointers, they have included Ross Powell in the 11 today.
That's very interesting. And when we talk about the pointers, I would want to send our best wishes to the family of Delano Mussington, who is away getting medical treatment, and we certainly pray that everything will be perfectly all right with him at the end of the day.
Indeed. Here is Carmichael to bowl to Burton. Burton is coming forward stylishly. No run resulting. Just pushing on the track. Just to the right. The man of the bowler who skips across and field. No run resulting. Score remains on 34 for no loss. Good over here. 34 for 1, sorry. And want to give them back that wicket. Here is Carmichael to bowl to Burton. Burton to this delivery. He's dabbing it. Oh, the man is so adept in scoring square of the wicket. It's on the honor offside. He moves on by 1 to 3, and the total moves on to 35. At 35 for 1. In the course of over number 6. 35 for 1. Burton is on 4. Brings the more aggressive Sanders, who's on 22 on strike, taps away, waits for Carmichael, and Carmichael aborts his walk. Not sure why the batsman is allowing Carmichael to bowl in those sleeves. And he must have better than a 20/20 vision there, Alf.
Yes, certainly. Once you were saying that was in my mind. In this sort of cricket, it's not a matter of allowing to bowl in that type of sleeve. That is unacceptable. You're playing with a white ball. There can be nothing that should interfere, so it's natural we should come off.
Here is Carmichael to Sanders. Sanders is hitting this one in the air, and officially, but short of the man there at cover, sitting on the circle. That's what saved him on that occasion. Sitting right on the edge of the circle. Here is Carmichael again to bowl to Sanders. Moves away, bowl to Sanders. Sanders is covering up nicely. No run resulting. Just 1 run from that over. That's 2 runs from that over. That's a very good over there by Carmichael.
Certainly quite a good line, not getting it too close to the batsman, not having it too far away from him, so the batsman most of the time would have to be on the back foot and cramped for room a bit, and he's doing what is required at this stage. Is actually just keeping it up.
That's 35 for 1, just 2 runs off Carmichael over. Very good over there. And the point is, their spinners will want to continue to put the squeeze on the beamers. 2 batsmen will want to continue to rotate the strike, if not the boundaries. If the boundaries are not coming, they would want to get those 1s and those 2s. Really don't want to soak up too much of that ball yet at all. It's going to be Northern Lake. Going to look to pull it back. And this is second over. It's a bit expensive in its first. Northern Lake from the central. Yes, from the Central Polyclinic end. Leon Burton. Leon Lake takes a day and a half to set a field. Here is Lake to Burton. Balls to Burton. To this delivery. It's going to full one that is hitting between mid-wicket and a long on, and it's going to go away for 4. Full does a gift accepted, and wonderfully played there by Dion. It was a gift, and oftentimes we say easy shot, but a number of times we've seen this go into hand, Ralph.
Yes, certainly it's a gift, but then it's how you use the gift. And he played it very well off his legs and bisected the fielder at long on and the mid-wicket, and away it went for 4.
Northern Lake want to pull this back. Over number 6. Final over of the power play. League 2. Burton is getting one down the next side. And a white says the umpire. Well, the keeper was going up. Nardell was going up. Well, you're not going to put me off, says umpire Josiah John. You transgress, and that's a wide. Score moves on to 40. 44. 1. Here is Northern Lake again to bowl to Burton. Burton is going back on that ball. He has to be very much careful about that one. I saw him, he went to pull before, and the ball is really not coming. It is a slider from Northern Lake, and he has to be really, really careful. Here is Northern Lake again to bowl to Burton. Burton to this delivery is coming forward and pushing it down to a long on. They're going to get 1. Newman moves off the fence. Since the return, Burton gets his 9th run, and the total moves on to 41. 41 for 1. Course of number 7. That's rather already out of the power play. First of the second power play. field changes over to accommodate the right-handed batsman. The man off the mid-wicket boundary is coming up and he's now been sent back. So there's a square leg, mid-wicket, short mid-wicket, and really had to follow the square rather than the mid-wicket boundary. Long on, long off is going back on the boundary, deep extra cover. Backward point, and widest third man here is Sanders. Sitting this one straight to short mid-wicket, can't score. Skipper Leon Lake is in its way. Here is Northern Lake again, net to bowl to Sanders, bowl to Sanders. Sanders is using his feet nicely, hitting this one down the ground. John will feel, sends the return. Score moves on by 1, and Sanders on to his 23, and the total on to 42. 42 for 1. In the course of over number 7, be mistaken on the pointers. Beautiful sunshine here at the James Ronald Webster Park. Here is Nordell to bowl to. Born is hitting this one straight to the hands of Nordell Lake. Too hard. I've never seen anybody except Jim Carrey catching bullets. Bullets always catch people.
It's certainly very hardly hit. They got a gift again, a full toss, and they played it straight down the ground through the hands of the bowler. And certainly a good-looking shot, but not well played.
Nice. So 5 ball over. Ralph, there was a wide in that over. Let's go 14.
But you, as
43.
a matter of fact, you should tell them, you know, because they will be bowling a ball less than the ordinary.
So it's 43.
Buttons on 9.
What on 10? What on 10? Just get 110. Morton on 9 and Saunders on 23. Here is Carmichael, and the field again has been adjusted. Oh, I think that the umpires need to really take into consideration that the time that has been taken up to bowl the 20 overs. We take a year and a Sunday to bowl 20 overs.
That's unfortunate. An over should be bowled within the time frame of the 4-minute mark. That's why in some tournaments there is a penalty for going under a prescribed number of overs in a prescribed time.
Yes, you suffer the consequence. You have to bring an extra man up in the circle. Here is Carmichael to bowl to Sanders. Sanders is on 23. Sanders stops away, waits. So Carmichael, when he gets there, he's cutting this one straight to short turn. Well, not really making use of that. That one was a bit wide, and he could have done a little more with that Sanders. Sanders remains on 23. Diano is on 10. Here is Carmichael to bowl to Sanders. Sanders to this one is stripping and getting a full pitch delivery, but he's walking it down to long. They've gone for one. Button is coming back, and he's gonna get home with ease. Well, look at how easy Button got back there, Ralph.
Yes, certainly a very quick runner between the wickets, and it was always twos because the fielder had to come off the wide, long-on boundary. And Burton, you notice when he crossed the first time, he just spotted back and he saw the distance and came back for the second round.
Here is Carmichael to bowl to Sanders. Bowl to Sanders. Sanders is getting one that is looking to dab again. That was a quicker, faster delivery, a quicker, flatter delivery, and beaten on the inner part of the bat, inside edge. Well taken there by Gomez. Score remains on 46 in over number 8 after this over. The man you're going to hear is dark. Here is this one, he's punching straight to the man at cover point, no run resulting. Score remains on 46. Broughton is on 10, Saunders on 25. The man out is Damian Williams. He went for 8. Here is Carmichael to bowl to Sanders. Sanders is driving past the outstretched hand of the bowler down to a long off. Well, Lake sends the return. That's not a Lake. And the 26th run for Saunders. And that's the end of the over the umpire says. And at the end of over number 8, it is 47 for 1. After comments from Ralph Hodge, then the next voice you're going to hear is that of Bryan.
This is certainly quite a nice over from Northern, mixing it up, flighting it, pitching it quicker through, a bit flatter, and certainly it's paid off. What the Beamers will be doing now is trying to actually get a partnership, try to get into the midway point, and then you open up in the second innings. But runs have not been easy in this tournament thus far, so anything that they can muster, they are going to have to turn over the singles, pick up 1s and 2s, and try not to usurp too many dot balls in the innings.
Well, it's going to be a change in bowling from the Polyclinic end. It's going to be Herbert, I believe, who will be taking up the attack. The 5th bowler used by Captain Northern Lake today. It's going to be Herbert, the right arm off spinner. He'll be bowling over the wicket to Akeem Saunders, and to this delivery, Saunders is chipping down the track and driving down towards a long off for a relatively comfortable single. Saunders is on by 1 to 27. The score also moves on by 1 to 48. 48 for 1 here in the course of the 9th over. Saunders is 27, Burton is 10. The man out, Williams, he went for 8, was caught by, I believe it was Oliver Walker. A brilliant take there at extra cover. Bowled by Solomon. Solomon, the man with the wicket today. As here comes William Herbert once again over the wicket. The ball to Burton, who's dabbing it into the offside. He can't get a single. And again, he's not quite going for the full-blooded stroke. He's just going to dab it into the offside, try to pick up the quick singles, and keep the strike rotating. That's what Burton does very well. He rotates the strike brilliantly. Quick conference in the middle between these 2 batters for the Beamers. Herbert is in again now, and Burton is down the track and pushing, but straight back to Herbert for no run. I believe these 2 would want to stay there as long as possible to give the Beamers a very good score, as Burton is trying to sweep. Didn't make contact. It came off the front pad. They did run a single. It is going to be leg byes. That is called and signaled by the umpire. The first leg bye for the innings, along with 3 wides. 49, the score has moved on to 49 for 1. The course of the 9th over. Herbert and now to bowl to Akeem Saunders, who's forward and opening the face. Down towards third man, he gets another single. The 50 has been raised for the Beamers here in the course of the 9th over. It's 50 for 1. As Herbert is in again now, over the wicket to bowl to Burton, who's down the track and going for a big shot, but the man from long on will come across and do the fielding. They do get 2. That's very good running by these 2. Burton on to 12. The score is on to 52. And that will be the score at the end of the 9th over. The Beamers winning the toss, choosing to bat. They are 52 for 1.
Well, certainly, as you mentioned, winning the toss and batting, there's not much advantage in batting first or batting second on this pitch. The pitch stays true. There's a little bounce at times. You can trust it anyway. And certainly the thing is to get runs on the board if you're batting first, or if you're batting second, you're going to have to be sensible about how you make the approach.
It's going to be Carmichael to continue from the commentary box end. Carmichael, the left arm off spinner. Bowling around the wicket between umpire and stumps. Waiting on this field to be set. And Lake is going to bring his cover fielder, his deep cover fielder, a few steps in from the boundary. Carmichael is in the ball to Saunders, who's down the track and driving, partially stopped by Leon Lake, but that will certainly have hurt because Saunders caught that ball cleanly and it was struck quite powerfully. Lake did well to get a hand on it, but they did get a single. 53, the score 53 for 1. Saunders is 29. It's going to be Carmichael once again, this time over the wicket to both left-handed Burton. Burton flashes this one off the outside edge. It's going to run past the short third-man fielder, and they do get 2 runs. This one a bit flatter, a bit quicker by Cheidyn Carmichael. And Burton was trying to drive it through the offside, but only succeeded in getting it off the outside edge. Here comes Carmichael once again to bowl to Dion Burton. And Burton is going to drive it straight to a short extra cover for no run. Good bit of fielding there. As he's going to turn now Carmichael at the top of his mark into his run to bowl to Burton, who's again driving, again stopped at short extra cover, and again it will be no run. After this over, we should be seeing the drinks break. It should take place after the 10th over. Here comes Carmichael to bowl to Burton, and oh my, what a delivery! Beating him outside the line of the off stump, and Dion Burton has to go just before the water break. Cheidyn Carmichael strikes. Burton is gone for 14, I believe.
Certainly playing the wrong line. There's no maybe a ball between stump, and he's playing inside of it and lost his middle and off stump.
And it's going to be the drinks break. But Dion Burton fell. Dion Burton fell for a 14. First wicket for that 19. The second wicket has now fallen at 55. But after looking good for a few, he has had to go. And it will be the drinks break. So in the course of this, the 10th over, it is a 55. 55 for 2. With Akeem Saunders, he is on
29.
He's 29, Akeem Saunders.
No, that's ball 2. Carmichael third. Carmichael third, right?
So, we're just getting our scores in sync. Again, we are pulling double and triple duty here. It is the Beamers who won the toss opted to bat. It looks like Daniel Durham is going to be the new man in. We're not seeing Captain Lindell Richardson just yet. Neither have we seen Giovanni Gums. Don't know when we will see either of them. Or if they will get a chance to bat. We do know that they do carry a very deep lineup, the Beamers batting attack.
Certainly, 10 overs gone in the match thus far. We are to the halfway point. The Beamers have not scored many runs in that, but the important thing for them is that there are 9 wickets left, so they can even be 8 wickets left. Actually, I've forgotten the one that was bowled just before the break. And certainly they can throw their bats around in the second innings. and they try to certainly increase the run rate. They will be looking for more than likely somewhere in the region of 8 per over. 160, I think, would be a mean score at this point in time, realizing the depth of their batting. Saunders can hit it. There are a couple of other batsmen who can hit it, and they are going to have to press on this, because getting a score of 130, I think, is below par. And they are going to have to try to get it somewhere between 7 and 8 to fairly be certain in this match.
They have a lot of batting left. They still have Lindell Richardson, Giovanni Gomes, Wazim Mentos, Shaka Hodge, Vigliff Gomes. A new man is Daniel Durham, who is in. They have a lot of batting left in the hut. It is going to be Carmichael to continue to the new man and Daniel Durham. Carmichael to Durham. Durham drives it straight down the ground, and Carmichael got a hand on it. They're coming back for 2, and they will get it.
Certainly a drop catch there. They hit it real hard, also just clipped the fingers of the bowler, and in the meantime the batsman crossed for 2.
So Durham gets his first 2 runs, but a very risky 2 runs. That could have been some serious trouble, because they did attempt to go for a risky second run, as well as the missed opportunity with the catch. It was struck very hard, and Carmichael did well to get a hand to it. You know, Durham, he strikes the ball very hard. That's the end of the over. And at the end of 10, it's 57 for 2. Just 5 off that over. $57 for 2. And it's going to be Herbert to continue. He will be bowling at Akeem Saunders. Saunders has replaced his helmet with a cap, as we have been seeing spin for a while for the Pointers. Herbert is into bowl, and it's going to be no run. Saunders chipped down the track, and he hit it straight to the fielder. Herbert again over the wicket to bowl to Saunders, who's clipping it into the leg side, and yet again will not get a run. Herbert over the wicket, and this one is pulled away, and pulled away furiously. That's going to be 4 runs. That raced across the ground, made it to the boundary in an absolute flash.
And certainly the bowler guilty of straying into the leg stump. The batsman stood tall, left leg planted firmly, and it just swashed it away to backward square leg for 4.
33 now is Saunders, as Herbert is in again to Saunders, who's driving straight down the ground. They will get at least one good bit of fielding. They come back for the second. Scores on to 63 for 2. Saunders is 35, as it's going to be Herbert once again over the wicket to bowl to Saunders, who's pulling once again. Doesn't get it behind square this time. It hits straight to the square leg fielder for a single.
Certainly umpire Calvin Hughes, that square leg more than halfway to the boundary, certainly had to take evasive action. So it's going to be Andrew Herbert to continue. Herbert bowling his right arm off spin. He'll be going over the wicket to the left-handed power-hitting Daniel Durham. And to this delivery, Durham is going to drive it down towards long off and pick up the single. Durham gets his 3rd run. The score is on to 65. 65 after 11 overs. Bamersley are 65 for 2. going along at just under 6 runs, and over at this point in time they will have to up the ante a bit, because there are a lot of wickets still in the pavilion, and they are going to want to put as big a score on the table as possible. They will look to avoid the issue of dot balls at the moment, or if they are dot balls, compensate with 4s and 6s. 6s do not come very easily here unless it's in the square areas of the field. So the batsman is going to have to try and turn over the singles as quickly as possible. Good running between the wickets will be very important as the innings continue.
Helmet has been brought out for Akeem Saunders, as it's going to be Rian Solomon coming in for his second spell from the commentary box end. He did bowl 2 overs, and the power play went for just 6 runs. Was very economical in the power play. They did pick up the wicket as well. Got the wicket of Damian Williams. It's a deep third man, a deep fine leg, a deep square leg, a long on, a long off. It's a left-hander, Daniel Durham on strike. Solomon into bowl to Durham. It's a clipped and not stopped there at mid-wicket by Leon Lake. The man from long on has to come all the way around, and they are going to get 3 runs. It's a bit poor there by Leon Lake. 3 runs to Daniel Durham.
Very poor fielding by Lake. He went down quite lackadaisically, and the ball ran away past him, and the fielder from long off had to come across and come to complete the fielding, and one of the rare threes we have been seeing in the Anguilla Premier League.
So they have brought the deep cover into the ring. It's a deep square leg. There's no real mid-wicket. Actually, they have not. It's a right-hander on strike, so again, a very odd field setting. A deep fine leg and a long on the 2-man back. There's no deep square leg or deep mid-wicket. Yep, for a deep cover instead. Solomon is into bowl, and Saunders is going to push it straight to short extra cover for no run. So the full field, it's a long off, a deep cover, a short extra cover, a cover point really, not quite a point, it's a cover point, a deep third man, a deep fine leg, a square leg in the circle, mid-wicket in the circle, and a long on. As here comes Solomon, he's into bowl, and it's going to be down the leg side, and it's going to go close to the boundary, fielded there by Newman. They do get 2 in addition to the wides or was it leg buys. It's runs actually, no signal, so it will be 2 runs to Akeem Saunders. He moves on to 38. The score moves on by 2. 70 has been brought up. It's a 70 for 2. As it's going to be Rian Solomon once again. And run-up did not look right from the start. He's going to try this one again. Solomon here will have to bowl on the offside, because anything on the path can be clipped away over mid-wicket or over square leg. As this one is outside the line of the off stump and kept very low. Kept extremely low. Saunders couldn't get a gauge on the lack of bounce. It's going to be a dot ball. Solomon once again, the left-arm pacer. He'll be bowling over the wicket to the right-handed Akeem Saunders. Passes the umpire now. He's into bowl to Saunders, and to this delivery, Saunders is driving down to long off, when Northern Lake will try to do the fielding, but they do come back for 2. It's been good running by this partnership. Goes on to 72. 72 the score. 40 is up for Saunders. He is at 40. Durham is 6. As it's going to be Ryan Solomon once again. A left arm over the wicket into ball. And that one beat Akeem Saunders there. That's going to be the end of the 12th over. And at the end of 12, the Beamers winning the toss, choosing to bat. They are 72 for 2.
And certainly the Beamers going along at 6 runs per over, and I'm certain that they would want to get more than this, because 6 runs and over throughout will end up somewhere 120. They certainly will want to look for more runs, so it will be time for chancing their hands in a while. And still a lot of their batting strong hitters remain in the pavilion, and the batters at the moment are trying to build a partnership, but soon they have to start thinking about building an even bigger partnership, Millie.
Yes, indeed, and they will have to start opening their hands up that run rate. It's 72 for 2 at the end of 12. From here on in, they still be looking at 8 runs and over half.
Yeah, that's the minimum by my reckoning to talk about safety. 7 about par, and then anything you get over 160 would be additional.
Indeed, what we are seeing today is a very two-pace wicket. Some are jumping and others are just keeping very low. And so runs on the board are going to be important for the Beamers, with the inclusion of the old veteran Joe Gums. The Mentos is back as well. So the army of spinners are all here today. Hodge, Gums, Mentos, they're all available. And we saw last time around Damian Williams also bowled some spin. It's going to be it's Tariq Newman who's coming back. Tariq Newman, left arm over the wicket to bowl to Durham. Durham is coming forward, pushing it back down the track, no run resulting. Score remains on 72 for 2. Durham is on 6. 40 is Saunders. So here is Durham to bowl to Durham. Here Newman to bowl to Durham, who is walking this one down to mid-wicket. They've gone for 1. Carmichael sends the return. Good 1-2. Total moves on by 1 to 73. And Durham moves on to 7. Brings Akeem Saunders, who is on 40. Stylish. He's looked good today. He's really looked good today. He's played the depth shot. He has played the power shot. He's played all along the ground. Saunders in the maroon Leeward Island West Indies helmet. Long on, long off. Deep extra cover. Mid-wicket, the man out. Here is Newman to bowl to Saunders. Saunders is stripping, and they realize that the ball was slow. Never got there, never got to the pitch. Taking someone off the bat. Ball going out to mid-wicket, no run resulting. Newman again to bowl to Saunders. This time he's going to get runs here. He's going to get runs here. We've gone for 1. We'll come back for a second. He's going to look for a third. It's not going to get there. He's not going to get it. 2 runs to Saunders. Solomon was just saying to his skipper, this field is not complete, skip. And the skipper knows best. Score moves on to a 75. A 75. Here is Newman to bowl to Saunders. Saunders, his delivery is getting one that is, he was looking to walk it on the onside. The ball stopping on him. Then at that lean edge, just going out to short third. And again, we are seeing the 2-piece coming here into play, Ralph.
So certainly it has played more into today's game than I've seen it play in any of the other matches. Very two-paced. We get one time it's low and time is climbing that little extra bit.
Here is Sanders hitting this in the air. Here he can be out. He is out. Very, very easy catch. You're not going to hit it close to Walker, and he drops it. And Walker takes a simple catch. Sanders goes. That's not the wicket that the Beamers would have wanted. They wouldn't have wanted to lose anyone at all, but not of Sanders at all. Sanders goes. Caught by Walker. Ball Newman for 42, and it's a 75 for 3 in the course of over number 13.
A very good hit on that occasion, but not hit far enough, and it was hit to a fairly reliable fielder on one of the longest parts of the boundary here at the James Ronald Webster Park, and was very comfortably taken just to the right of the scoreboard as far as we are concerned. So a third wicket has gone down, and it's obvious that the Beamers are now looking for everything extra that they can get, and certainly they would want to be cautious and making sure that in looking for these runs they don't lose wickets significantly.
Over number 13 completed. 7 overs. Well, it's already minutes to 4 o'clock. It's I'm not seeing another 27 overs, Ralph, to be bowled in this encounter.
You have sunlight until around 6:30, so let's see how far into that we will go, but certainly I agree with you, it looks kind of tight at the moment.
The Beamers get through their overs very, very, very fast, and that's a plus for them, and they have a number of spinners, and that will help them too. It's Michael Lewis, the new batsman. Solomon will continue. 4th over is Lewis, who's getting one outside the line of the off stump. No resulting. Looking for a drive. Just looking to steer it through the offside. Doesn't make contact. Score remains on a 75 for 3 in the course of over number 13, number 14. Course of over number 14. Here is Solomon to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is again looking for an expansive drive outside the line of the off stump, and that looping bounce going over the top of the bat. The pointers will really have to put their head down in this reply, because the wicket, as Ralph, you heard it from the umpire himself. Here is Solomon to bowl to Lewis, and that must be a no ball. Call and signal by both umpires. Is that 2 runs? Oh, I know, it's just one. It's just one run. Both umpires saying, you have chance, Grace. You have chance, Grace. No ball. Free hit. It was above the waist. Both the standing and the square leg saying, oh yes, that's a no ball. Here is Solomon to bowl to Lewis. Way to open your arm, and he drives it back past the bowler. Getting a hand to it, taking the weight off it. Gets down to another leg. 1 to Lewis. Lewis is off the mark, and it's a 77 for 3 in the course of over number 14, with 6 to go after this one. So it's 2022 season 2 APL right here at the James Ronald Webster Park, and beautiful sunshine here. It's not all blue skies, but no complaint at all. It's very hot here at the James Ronald Webster Park, the Valley Anguilla. It's going to be Solomon to continue to bowl to Newman. From this commentator's booth and to bowl to Doran. Doran is coming forward and pushing it. Oh, that's poor work. That's naughty. That's naughty by Solomon. That one had no weight on it. And they're coming back for a second. And they're going to get it too. Sloppy. Extremely sloppy. Extremely sloppy by the skipper, Leon Lake. And both the bowler and the skipper, well, they can only look at each other, because none did better than none.
Well, certainly, while it was sloppy on the fielding side, it was good thinking on the batting side. They realized that that Leon Lake was just ambling to the ball, and they were always going to come back for two at the pace he was feeling. We need to see it a bit better than that, though, from the fielding side at this level of cricket.
Yes, very good awareness by Lewis and Doran, recognizing that skipper Leon Lake was just ambling for the ball, no sense of urgency, but there was certainly urgency in the running. 79 for 3 in the course of over number 14. Here is Solomon, runs away, passes umpire to bowl to Doran. He's getting a wide. They're gonna get runs there. A wide signal. They get one. They get 2 runs added to the total. 2 runs added to the total. Total moves on to 81. 81 for 3 in the course of over number 14. Solomon just playing a bit rugged here in his final over. So no ball, no wide. Solomon again. Umpire doing some repair work there to the stumps. I saw one of the most amazing things in cricket today. Here is Solomon to bowl to Lewis. Pass them, bowl to Lewis. Lewis is driving, peeling off the outside edge. They have gone for 1. We'll come back for a second. They're coming back for a 2. And they're going to get home easily. 2 runs to Lewis. And the total moves on to 83. 83 for 3. Lewis moves on to 3. Durham is on 9. Batsman out. Saunders for 42. Williams for 8 and Burton for 14. Here is Solomon. This one is line on the leg side. Ball coming off the pad and gets a leg by to end the 14th over. It's 84 for 3 at the end of 14.
And certainly we are talking about the heat of the sun and the good weather at the park, but we've not been talking about the greenery of the park. Despite many months of drought, the surface here looks fantastic. One of the few green areas other than maybe on the golf courses in Anguilla.
Yes, indeed. The park staff has been doing a good job, and we have had some sprinklers over the past 2 or so weeks. And Ralph, it's amazing. You can be wetting grass for the whole year, and 1 shower of rain makes a difference.
Yeah, those heavenly particles make it completely different. It's not the same throwing water on a plant and rain coming. We all know that here in Anguilla.
I tell you, the salt in the water from the well makes, it really just keeps the grass alive, but there is something that happens when the rain comes, man. It is going to be Newman. Is this final over? Newman, final over of his spell to bowl to Lewis between umpire and stumps. Left arm around the wicket. He has the man at mid-wicket, long on, long off. Deep extra cover the men out. 4 men sitting on the fence, waiting for a catch. Here is Newman to Lewis. Lewis is getting one that is biting big. Oh, it gripped and it turned. Ooh. Well, not only that is playing to pace, but it is turning well as well. We have come accustomed to a turning track here at the JRWP. Well, it's not what the pointers would want to see at all. Here is Newman to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is coming back, and when he gets there, he realizes that it's quicker delivery, and he just drives it straight to the man there at extra cover. That's Leon Lake. Can't score. Score remains on 84. 84. Here is Newman to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is coming for him. This one is walking it down to the onside. A good covering there by Northern Lake as the man from long on comes off the boundary and field. Can't stop the singles. Total moves on to 85. Lewis, he's on to 4. His 4th runner. Durham is on 9. It's 85. 85 for 3. In the course of over number 15, it's going to be Telefarm who's going to win this battle. Here is Newman to bowl to Durham. Over the wicket. Oh, that one kept low. It was a flatter. It was faster. And a fumble from Carmichael. And the batsman, very much away, comes back for a second good running.
Yeah, very good running on that occasion. Carmichael wanting to throw, I guess, before he collected the ball. So it just bobbled away from him, and there was always the second run on.
Yes. Bowler won't be pleased. Batsman happy with that. Durham is into double figures. He's on 11. It's Newman again to bowl to Durham to this delivery. He's looking to go across the line. They're going to get a single. Is that leg by? We wait for the signal of the umpire. Are we going to get one? No signal. So I've gotten back to that one. Total moves on by 1 to 88. And Durham scores his 12th run. 12 to Durham. Lewis, the right-handed batsman, is on 4. Comes into strike. It's 88. 88 for 3. Over number 15 coming to an end. A spell of Newman coming to an end. Here is Newman to bowl to Lewis. Bowl to Lewis. Lewis is again coming, looking to give himself room, not making contact. The over comes to an end. And at the end of over number 15, the Beamers, they are 88 for 3.
88 for 3. The point is very consistent in the bowling, not allowing the Beamers to get away from around that 6-run over mark. They are trying to keep it as tight as possible. I guess it will be now time for the Beamers, if they are going to be looking at 140 at least, to start hitting the ball, start taking chances. We are seeing the odd low ball, we are seeing the odd one biting, turning. So it could be very tricky as this inning continues.
Indeed. Tricky indeed. It's going to be Herbert who is going to take up the attack from this commentator's booth, and he would have bowled his first spell, 2 overs from the Central Polyclinic end. Now he's going to be taking up his attack in this his second spell from this the commentator's booth end. We are doing our commentaries from the Raymond Igisha Technical Center end, or the Campus B end, for those persons who are acquainted with the JRWP.
Or wouldn't it be easier to say Millie from the northern end?
Well, you know one thing, everybody is speaking Anguilla. It is as if the cardinal points changed.
Oh yeah, we've seen, I do not know whether we have it right and others have it wrong, or the reverse takes place, but it could be very tricky.
It's going to be Herbert. And to be right, you know, we have landmarks, and so we use them. It's going to be Herbert. He's going to be bowling to Durham. Durham is on 12. Lewis is on 4. Over number 16. To commence, here is Herbert to bowl to Durham. Durham is walking this one off leg straight to short mid-wicket, leg field. The over should have been completed at this time. It's just starting. Takes a year and a Sunday. Here is Herbert to bowl to Durham. Bowls to Durham. Short, pull well. This is going to get close to the fence. It goes into the boundary. 1 bounce, 4 runs. To the right of Walker. Poor effort there by Walker on that occasion. And Durham gets himself 4 runs.
Quite a nice looking shot, and probably he will be advised to play it more in that manner, going across the line of the ball, looking to ensure that is not keeping that low, because otherwise you find that they are tapping it straight to the fielder if they are going with the full face of the bat.
Beamers are into the 90s. They are 92. Durham is, that's a faster delivery. They're going to get 1. Is that leg by? Wait, is there going to be a signal? He came off the bat, says the umpire. Umpire says that's a run for Durham. His 17th run. I'm not going to rob him of his 17th run. And that's 93 for the Beamers, winning the toss, choosing to bat. On this beautiful Saturday evening, looked a bit hazy earlier this morning. Got a bit of sprinkles. But not to be deterred, we're on the beautiful skies here at the JRWP. Hubbard to bowl to the right-handed Lewis. Moves away past his umpire. Bowl to Lewis. Lewis is gone. Stumped. Chipping. Missing the ball. And Gomez has been stumped. And done so very, very speedily. And Ralph Hodge, something I noticed earlier in the year when an Indian, I think it was India who was playing, I can't really remember, but there was a stumping, a call. It was sent upstairs for a stumping, and a no ball was called because the keeper's glove was even with the stump, and so it is something that our umpires have to come aware of, because once that glove gets even with that stump, by the time it takes the ball, it is a no ball. It has to stay behind the stump to collect the ball.
Well, certainly, if you're a qualified umpire, you must know that you must be behind. You must be behind the stumps and not alongside the stumps. So clearly that has to be a no ball. And it is very important when we look at the higher levels of cricket that we pick up these things. The laws are there, and certainly sometimes we apply the laws by just playing and by not knowing the laws. So Millie, you're very correct. Once you're alongside the stumps, it is a no ball. You're going to have to be behind the stumps. And welcome back to the microphone.
Yes, and it's going to be Mentos, the new batsman. Mentos is a power-hitting right-hander. A very big lad, and strikes the ball a very long way. He is going to have to face Andrew Herbert. Herbert into bowl to Mentos, and Mentos is forward and pushing defensively. Two very big units in the middle right now for the Beamers, both Mentos and Durham. Well over 6 foot, both of them. This is short, and Mentos is pulling, and that's going to end up almost in Bruni's ground. It bounced off the wall. That's a massive 6 for Mentos.
Certainly you don't bowl short like that to Mentos. The ball came up accommodatingly saying, hit me, and he's a big, strong man, and he really gave it the treatment it deserved.
Score moves on to 99. Mentos gets off the mark with a 6, 99 at the end of 15. At the end of 16, sorry, it's 99 the score. And 99 for 4.
So the Beamers just barely creeping past that 6 runs per over. In double figures of runs came in that over, maybe 11 or so runs, if I can recall. 11 runs, and we are now into the power hitting end of the game. 4 wickets down. You have 4 overs to go, and you have a license to hit the ball at the moment.
It's going to be Nordell Lake who's coming back into the attack. As you know, the Beamers, they have some batting left. Shaka Hodge probably will be coming in next. They also have Giovanni Gums as well. We haven't even seen Captain Lyndale Richardson take a knock for the day.
Wigliff also is there to come in.
So Wigliff Gums, he opened the batting, I believe, in their last game. It's going to be Lake. He's into bowl to Durham. Durham is wrapped on the pass. That one kept low, and Durham is gone. Well, Durham is upset, but that one kept low. He went onto the back foot, and Daniel Durham has to go.
Certainly the Beamers losing their 5th wicket now, so that is something they wouldn't want to have happened, and they are going to have to try and make amends and continue pushing the score along. So it looks like the new batsman will be Giovanni Gums, and And the Beamers are well positioned with the type of batting, and therefore the batsmen to make a strong effort in continuing to push the scoring rate along.
And so it's going to be Giovanni Gums who's coming in rather than Shaka Hodge. As Lindell, he's putting on his pads now, but I don't think he would really want to bat. Gums, we did see in the last game, he did take up a new role coming in and striking the ball towards the end. Giovanni Gums. He did prove in the last game that he can strike a ball a fair distance as well. Left-handed batter, he will have to face Nordell Lake. We just got rid of the dangerous Daniel Durham. Scored 17 to Durham before he was gone. LBW trapped on the pass, trying to go back by Nordell Lake. Lake is in again now. Send the ball to Gums, and Gums is going to let this one go through to the keeper for no run. Lake again to bowl to Gums, and Gums is slugging it away, and has that been taken? My goodness! Cheidyn Carmichael with the catch of the season thus far, diving forward and taking an absolute blinder.
Fantastic catch on that occasion. The ball dying on him, and his full length diving forward, and actually the ball did not get out of his grasp. A fantastic catch.
My. That is the catch of the season thus far. Cheidyn Carmichael with an absolute blinder of a catch. Diving forward, full stretch, and he held on brilliantly. It's going to bring Shaka Hodge to the wicket with the Beamers. When you would have wanted them to accelerate in these death overs, they have started to decelerate. The scoring has dropped, and they have started losing wickets. Shaka Hodge is going to be the new batter. Lindell, he'll have to put on the pads and put them on quickly, because the Beamers, they're having a mini collapse right now. That's 2 wickets and 3 deliveries for Nordell Lake. What a return to the attack for him. Hodge, the right-handed power hitter. We'll have to wait as the field is adjusted. A deep backward square. Have a deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, and a deep cover. More orthodox field to a power hitting batter. Nordell Lake into bowl to Shaka Hodge, and to this delivery, Hodges driving down the ground ferociously, but stopped well by Nordell Lake. It's going to be no run. Here comes Lake once again. He's into bowl to Shaka Hodge, and Hodge is going to drive it straight back to Nordell Lake. Oh my goodness, this has been a collapse of epic proportion. What's that? 3 wickets in 5 deliveries. The Beamers have fallen apart here at the death. Nordell Lake is having the spell of his life right now. That's 3 wickets in the over. Hodge gone for a duck. It's 99, the score for 7. $99 for 7. They were looking so comfortable, so comfortable. at around 99 for 4 going into the death overs with Durham and Mentos in there striking well. But Durham fell. Lewis came in and he went cheaply for 4. Giovanni Gums fell for a duck. Shaka Hodge has fallen for a duck. And suddenly Vigliff Gums has to come to the crease. And he'll have to strike and strike quickly. Lindell has to get the pads on quickly. I don't think he really planned on having a bat today, but he will have to, the way it's looking right now. Lake has 1 ball left in the over. The mount with the golden arm right now. Northern Lake into ball to Vigliff Gums. Gums is back, not making good contact. Well, it's into the gap, so they scamper through for a single. That will be the end of the over. The 100 has been raised, but it's 100 for 7.
100 for 7, and we 3 more overs to go. So we still would be wondering if the Beamers can reach to a runner ball of 120s, because they are behind that target at the moment. They are only 3 wickets in hand, but to give them some credit, the 3 wickets, there are still 3 batsmen in it. I do not know who's batting at number 11.
Joe Gums.
So well, there's still a bit of batting, and certainly they'll have to pick up as many runs as they could in the last 3 overs to make a match out of this. It's because under a runner ball, I think it will be below par.
Yes, they do have batting all the way through their batting lineup, down to number 11 and Joe Gums. He can bat as well. It's going to be Carmichael. I believe he'll be bowling his final over. He is adjusting his cover fielder. And he's in again. Around the wicket to bowl. And he's bowled him!
Nothing short.
An absolute nothing shot from Vigliff Gums. And he's gotten his stumps disturbed. The 4th wicket to fall in 7 deliveries. Vigliff Gums has to go for a single. And finally, Captain Lyndall Richardson walks to the middle.
Yeah, certainly you're going to have to get bat on ball to hit it. You can't be having your head in the air, the bat going somewhere else, your legs going somewhere else. That's always spelling trouble in batting.
Well, it's going to be Lindell coming to the middle. Joe Gums, he's getting himself some equipment to go and bat, because the way it's looking, he will have to. What a collapse this has been. They were 99 for 4, weren't they? They were 99 for 4. Now it's 100 for 8.
Technically, they were 99 for 3, I believe.
Well, we will have to check that one. But whatever it was, this has certainly been a collapse to match no other. Cheidyn Carmichael he's taken the catch of the season earlier. He now has a wicket, a 2nd wicket. He's in a game now, and Richardson is driving straight to extra cover for no runner. Carmichael has 2 wickets. He's in a game now, and Richardson is trying to cut and not making contact. I wonder if Carmichael is setting up something. We've seen 2 deliveries that were very similar. He's in a game now, and again, this time he's trying to dab. This could be trouble, but the throw was a bit lackadaisical, I must say, from Garvey Lake. They do get a single. It brings Mentos onto strike. Mentos, he's watching the non-strikers then, as partner after partner of his has come in and gone. He's a big 6. I don't think he made contact. I don't think he had another ball to face after that. It's going to be Carmichael once again to bowl towards Mentos. Mentos is beaten. The keeper is beaten as well. That's going to get close to the boundary. And in fact, it's going to stop a few millimeters short of the boundary. It's going to be 2 byes signaled by umpire Hughes. 103 for 8 the score. As here comes Carmichael once again. It's short and cut away by Mentos down to cover for a single. Mentos on to 7. The score is on to 104.
104 for 8 and 2 overs to go. So the pointers, they are certainly in the ascendance now. We will have to see how many more runs the Beamers can collect, and then they will have to send their bowling army to defend whatever they've made.
Well, the Beamers, they do have good bowling. What they have is they have a spin attack now, because they have reintroduced the man in Joseph Gums, very good spinner, a veteran spinner. He will work well with the likes of Shaka Hodge, Akeem Saunders, and Daniel Dorham. And they will depend on their spin attack to silence this pointer's batting. And is going to be led by the new addition, Ross Powell. The new vision, Ross Powell, would have played for the Leeward Islands earlier this year. It's going to be Northern Lake again to Mentos, and well, I don't know what that made contact with, but it completely beat Mentos. It's going to be a dot ball. That one a lot faster and flatter from Northern Lake. It's in again now Lake to bowl to Mentos. Mentos is back and cutting it very straight down to a long off. They will get 2 runs. Good running there by Richardson and Mentos. 106, the score has moved on to 106 in the course of over number 19. It's 106 for 8 as Northern Lake continues over the wicket to bowl to Mentos, who's back and turning it into the leg side. They do scamper through for a single. Here comes Northern Lake once again. From the Polyclinic end, bowling his right arm off spin to the captain, Lindell Richardson. To this delivery, Richardson is getting a full toss that he is playing well into the leg side. They will get 1 and look to connect for the second, and they're going to be caught, but the throw goes to the wrong end. Nornell didn't realize that Lindell was caught halfway down the track. He threw to the keeper's end, when in fact he should have just gone to the bowler's end himself. Lindell survives and they get a single. Lindell is off the mark. His first run, I do believe. His second run should have been corrected. As here comes Nornell. It's cut away by Mentos down towards the cover boundary. And they get a single. .108 the score has moved on to. As here comes Northern Lake once again. And Lindell drives it straight back to the bowler for a no run. That's going to be the end of the 19th over. At the end of 19, it's 108 for 109. Sorry, I've been corrected. 109 for 8.
So certainly we are getting into the end of it, is because this is the 20th over now, and the Beamers will want to accumulate as many as they could from it. There is only one wicket in the pavilion still, and then it will be the pointers' turn to look at how they are going to achieve it, if they are going to achieve it.
It's going to be Herbert who will bowl the final over. Andrew Herbert has a packed leg side field, 3 men back on the leg side. Mentos getting this one off the toe end, going for a single, and Gomez missed the run-out opportunity. It would have been tight, but they do get a single. Mentos on to 12. It brings Lindale Richardson on to strike once again. The score is on to 110. What can they get from this final over? They got 5 from the 19th. What can they get from the 20th? They have 1 so far. Lindale is back and pulling it. It will drop short of Carmichael. They do get a single.
Should have gone. 6 runs. 6 runs. Jeez.
It's going to be Andrew Herbert once again. This time he'll be bowling to Wazim Mentos. And this one was flatter and shorter there. Again, a bottom edge. They will get a single. That's 3 runs from 3 balls thus far. It's going to be Herbert to bowl to Lindale, who is pulling this one down to long on. It drops short of Rian Solomon. Once again, it's a single. It's a 113. 113. 113 the score. Mentos is back on to strike. Mentos trying to cut, missing this one. 4 off the over thus far. 1 delivery left. Herbert into ball to Mentos. Mentos misses, and that is the innings. What a collapse for the Beamers. They finish on 113 for 8.
114 to win is under the 6 runs per over target, and now it's left to the Beamers, bowlers, and the Pointers batters to see what happens in this game. A game which started quite nicely from the batting side, quite steadily at the halfway point. It was in the 50s. Then you reach 99 without much significant loss, and then there where the slide started. There were 4 wickets falling on 99 or 100, and it ended up on 113. 113. The Pointers now have to make 114 and 114 from 20 overs. And after a break by the 2 teams, we will actually resume innings number 2 in this 2020 APL match.
At the 16th over, the Beamers won 93 for 3. In the 16th over, the 4th wicket fell at 93. They got to 99 for 4. In the 16th over, they were 99 for 4. And they ended the death overs, the power hitting overs, at 113 for 8. If you want a collapse typical of West Indian cricket, there you go. We saw earlier in the day the West Indies, they had a collapse of their own, falling apart after Casey Carty got out really. And now today, later in the day, the Beamers, they fall to 113 for 8. Over in Guyana, Bangladesh, they are pretty much about to wrap up the series whitewash. They required 29 from the last 10 overs. They are 151 for 6, chasing 178 for victory in the course of the 40th over. So they are pretty much about to whitewash the West Indies. So a half century from Liton Das for Bangladesh, and now it's Nurul Hassan and Mehdi Hassan who are about to take it home for Bangladesh. While for the West Indies, it was pretty much Nicholas Puran, the captain, who did all the scoring. He scored 73 from 109, while Casey Carty chipped in well with 33 in his first game of the series. He coming in for Kyle Mayers, really. while in the big, not the Big Bash, it's the English T20 Championship. The Vitality Blast, Lancashire, they are 104 for 4 in reply to Hampshire's 152 for 8 in the final. Lancashire, they require 49 from 43 deliveries. You saw earlier Ben McDermott, I believe he's an Aussie. He opened the batting and scored some 62 from 36 for Hampshire, while it was Chris Wood towards the end, the pacer, who came in and scored some runs at the end. He scored 20 to get Hampshire to a respectable 152 for 8. Good bowling there from Matt Parkinson, the leg spinner, the highly touted leg spinner. He picked up 4 for 26. And in reply, Lancashire, they are 105 for 4. It should be an easy chase. Salt fell early. He went for 10. Jennings also fell for 24. Croft scored well to get to 36. And now it's Luke Wells and Tim David in the middle. We do know that this has been a day of cricket out in the Vitality Blast, because early in the day in the first semi-final, Lancashire, they demolished Yorkshire. Really, Yorkshire would have thought they put up a good score when they got to 204 for 7 from their 20, but Lancashire, pretty much on the back of a half century from Keaton Jennings, as well as a half century from Dane Vilash, the captain, they were able to chase down the 204 with some 8 balls remaining. Brilliant innings from Jennings and the captain as well. West Indian Dominic Drakes playing for Yorkshire. He would have picked up 2 wickets, but he was a bit expensive as well. Picked up 2 for 39. We would have seen a few West Indians who would have been playing in the Vitality Blast. Sunil Narayan was playing for Surrey, as well as Karen Pollard. And both would have been playing for Surrey. Hampshire got to the final in the second semi-final as well, when they made light work of, I believe, Somerset. I believe, yes, they did make a quick work of Somerset. And they got to 153 before they were bowled out in the 20th over. After Hampshire, they would have scored 190 for 6. Tom Priest, he scored 64. Did the majority of the scoring. Was supported by Ben McDermott. He got to 31. And replied, no one really got going for Somerset. Tom Lamonby scored 34. Riley Rousseau, back in the South African setup, recently back into the South African setup, he got to 23. And the captain, Tom Abel, he scored 27, but no one really got going. It was good bowling from the Aussie Nathan Ellis. He picked up 3 wickets. And then 1 for Wood, Wheel, Liam Dawson, and James Fuller. So Vitality Blast has been going on out in England. It's been a very interesting to look at, as we also see going on a test series between Sri Lanka and I believe Pakistan. Sri Lanka would have bat first on day 1. They got to 222 before they were bowled out. Another half century for Dinesh Chandimal. He got to 76, but they didn't have much support outside of Dakshana. He scored 38, and Ashada Fernando, who got up to 35. And in reply, Pakistan, they would have gotten to 24, but they have lost 2 wickets. With Kasan Rajitha, he's bowled very well, as well as young Jayasuriya, both picking up a wicket. Rajitha has been very impressive from what I have seen of him in that Sri Lankan bowling setup. Would have wanted to see Jayasuriya previously. Would have played 1 game before, if I remember correctly. Picked up a few wickets as well, the Sri Lankan. in Pakistan, they would have had a bit of news going on earlier when they dropped their veteran opener, I believe. I do believe I would have read that earlier in the week. I will get that news story for you momentarily. In Pakistan, they do have, yes, they have included Salman Ali. He's slated to be batting at number 5. Salman, not one of the usual names, a young man breaking through the Pakistan setup. And he has really proven himself on the domestic circuit. But Bangladesh, they are running riot with the West Indies right now. They are really running riot with the West Indies, making a very light work of what was supposed to be a difficult wicket to bat on. And that's what the West Indies made it look like, because they really haven't gotten going at all, and at any time really, in the ODI series. They've had 3 paltry scores, I must say. They scored 108 in the second ODI, 149 in the first ODI. 3 really mediocre scores, and they will have no rest because they have an ODI series with India coming up on the 22nd of July. And India, we know they are a much tougher outfit than Bangladesh. It is the Beamers who won the toss. They opted to bat here at the GRWP. They got to 113 for 8 after being relatively comfortable at 99 for 4. The Pointers are out to bat with their 2 openers. Ross Powell and Nordell Lake, I do believe, are the opening batters. It's going to be Giovanni Gums, I believe, who will be opening the bowling. Gums, he is a very good pace bowler. He'll be bowling from the commentary box end. What I drink is? Passion fruit. You off my lunch, man. I'm hungry.
So, it's about to see the commencement of the second half, the second innings. It's 114 for victory. 114 for victory. 113 scored by the Beamers. Winning the toss, choosing to bat. 113 for 8. Here is Giovanni Gums to bowl to Newman. Newman is in this 1-2 backward point. This could be the first wicket! First ball! Northern Lake has been run. It's Newman. It's Tariq Newman who goes run out, hitting the ball to cover, and stand up watching. Northern Lake took off. Absolutely no communication. And this is not the start the Pointers would have wanted, but it is exactly what the Beamers would have wanted. Tariq Newman goes, first ball, run out without scoring. It's 1 for none. 1 for none, Ralph. What a way, what a start for the Beamers.
Certainly, Miller, as you said, this was not the start the Pointers have been looking for, and there has been quite an element of miscommunication. And we have to bear with the players, though, because there's not much training together time, and not the start one would want to see in terms of chasing a very small total.
Well, one of the things I believe in cricket, one of the things I believe in cricket is that communication is always key. Communication is key. And you cannot run one by yourself. Somebody is going to get run out. A single is only a single when two batsmen crosses over and gets to the opposing crease.
Well, that's why we play cricket in pairs. That ball was clipped into the onside. The fielder was into the game, looked very carefully, saw two players in blue on the virtual same end and went to the bowler's end, and that was the end of Newman.
Yes, Oliver Walker will replace Newman. Newman gone. Oh, he has been the informed batsman for the Pointers. It's not going to score a run today. Not one. His contribution for this game is done. Done and dusted. It's gone. It's over. It's zip with the bat. But I've come back well with the ball. But it's zip with the bat. Newman goes. Run out. First ball. Here is Giovanni comes to ball to Northern Lake. Balls to Lake. Lake is allowed appeal. Trapped on the pad. Here is Walker going down looking for a single again. Oh, we almost saw the same thing. Yeah.
Certainly Walker is not the best of runners between the wicket. He's always looking for the single, and he is not like a Burton who is ultra quick between the wickets.
Yes. Well, the Beamers, their tails are up, looking to restrict the Pointers. Here is Giovanni Gums, the ball to Lake, is short, and he's punching this one to the man that cover. No run resulting, all in the return to the keeper. Score remains on 1 for none. 1 wicket, no run, none for 1. Here is Giovanni Gums, the ball to Lake. Lake is hitting this one. He's going to get the first run. 1 bounce into the fence, 4 runs. Good looking stroke. And I'm not sure why the man there, we know what how Northern Lake is going to play. Even the ball is wide outside the line of the off stump, and I think immediately that the fielder should have been on the mid-wicket boundary.
Certainly bad bowling by the bowler Giovanni Gums. He knows that Northern Lake goes across the line of the ball all the time. He starts it somewhere on middle stump, going further down the leg side. All the fielders on the leg side are in, apart from the fielder. No, all the fielders were in, and this just went over mid-wicket for an easy 4.
Yes, it does. Northern Lake will want to continue. Giovanni Gums will have different ideas. This one is in the air. He could be caught. Gorham gets under it. Takes a simple catch. Northern Lake goes. Beamer strikes again. It's 4 for 2, and the first over is still in progress.
Extremely poor batting, though. There was a ball, he came back, straightened his length, his line, and pulled it back a little. Northern Lake into the drive and just lobbed it to the fielder on the 30-yard circle on the offside. Not the kind of responsibility exercise by Northern Lake, one of the key players in the Pointers side. So we're in for a bit of drama here at this point. 4 for 2 would not be the way Bryan the Pointers rather want to start the innings.
And the new signee for the Pointers, the big signee, it's Ross Powell who has arrived. Ross Powell, the division, Leeward Island, Millard batsman, he is in the crease. Ralph, we can be in for a treat here. Will we see the best of Powell, or will we see his back in quick order?
Well, certainly cricket is a one-ball game, and you're going to have to be careful with that. A batsman will stay and play gloriously, but then make one mistake, and that will be the end of you. But we know that Ross Powell is a batsman of repute in the region, and he is going in like any other batsman to play an innings.
Well, Ross Powell joins Oliver Walker. Giovanni Gums, the man with the golden arm, runs away, passes umpire ball to Walker. Walker is hitting this one down to extra cover. And sweep on the boundary. Shaka Hodge is there, sends the return. Walker is off the mark. He's on 1. The total moves on to a 5 for 4-2. At the end of over number 1, what a start for Beamers. Not the start the Pointers would have wanted, in search of 114 on a track that is to pace.
Well, certainly if you make a small score, you're going to have to bowl well, and up to now it seems like that is the way the Beamers would have started. I would have been a bit surprised starting with young Gums, Giovanni Gums, but certainly, as you said, Millie, he is a guy with the golden arms. When you least expect, he's right there with you. He puts out a lot of effort. That is the important thing about his cricket. A little guy, but an effective guy in terms of his cricket.
Indeed. And the veteran of Shaka Hodge takes the ball because Ross Powell is at the crease, and he thinks that he has to be the one who will have to take up the mantle for the Beamers. But they have a range of spinners, the likes of Durham, Shaka Hodge, Mentos, and Gums. Joe Gums, the veteran. Oh, well. The Pointers will have to really bat well if they have to overhaul the 113 scored by the Beamers. It's going to be Shaka Hodge to bowl to Walker. A very aggressive batsman. He's a no-nonsense type of cricketer. Oliver Walker. You know him on the football in front as Screechy. Shaka Hodge. Between umpire and stumps. Right arm around the wicket to bowl to Walker. 2 men out. Let's see a mid-wicket and a long on. Shaka Hodge to bowl to Walker. Bowls to Walker. Walker is getting this one about 2 bubbles back down the track. No run resulting. Score remains on 5 for 2. In the course of over number 2, Pointers in search of 114 for victory. Hodge to Walker. Walker's coming forward stylishly, circumspectly, bat and pat close together, textbook style. No run resulting. Score remains on 5. Shaka Hodge tosses the ball from hand to hand, passes umpire Josiah Hodge. Ball to Walker. They're going to get runs here. They've gone for 1, looking for a second. We'll get it very easily too. Gapping the ball through back of the square. And total moves on. And sloppy cricket there. Poor cricket there between Sanders holding up the ball and then lobbing it to Joe Gums, and the batsman well away and coming back for 3 runs. Not good cricket there by the Beamers at all.
Yeah, very poor cricket on that occasion. There was 2, you will return the ball to make it dead, and that wasn't the case on that occasion.
Well, Shaka Hodge can be licking his lips. He says, this is the man I really wanted. It's the reason why I took the ball. Powell is on strike. Powell. Welcome to APL 2022. Powell taps away. Waits for Shaka Hodge. Shaka Hodge to Powell. As Powell is hitting this one down to long off. They're going to get runs here. He gets 1. That's all he's going to get. He's off the mark. He's on 1. Total moves on to 9. In the course of over number 2, Powell is on 1. With him is Walker. He's on 4. In search of 114 for victory. Collapse by the Beamers. 90. 9 wasn't a lucky number for them today at all. Here is Hodge to bowl to Walker. Bowls to Walker. Walker is sitting this one down to long on. We're going to get 1. Michael Lewis comes off the boundary. Can't stop the single. Walker gets his 5th run. And the total moves on to 10. 10 for 2. Over number 2. Just about 5.5 runs and over required. Here is Shaka Hodge to bowl to Powell. Powell is driving powerfully. That's 4 runs. You can give up the chase. Over pitching there was Hodge, and Powell came forward. Oh, and he hit that with disdain. Down to the long on bunker. 4 runs. What a shot.
Well, an excellent shot. Guilty of over pitching, and Powell right behind it. Head right over the line of the ball. Arms coming down diagonally on it and hitting it through the onside for 4.
Oh, what a way to end over number 2. And an over where they're looking to rebuild from a position of 4 for 2. They have raced on to 14. A very productive over there for the Pointers. Very productive. Giovanni Gums will continue. From this, the Commentators booth in. Some 9 runs from that over. Oh, lovely looking stroke there by Powell to get him going. That one, he came off the meat of the bat and it echoed like a bullet from the shot from the mouth of a gun.
Yeah, fantastic shot all along the ground and bisected the two fielders and indeed the one on the offside and the one on the onside and away to the side screen for 4.
So Giovanni comes to bowl to Walker, moves away, bowl to Walker short, and Walker is hitting this one into mid-off, gets 1. Walker is on to 6, and the total on to 15. And the course of over number 3. A sort of 114 for victory. Can they get it? Can they? Will they get there? Will they get there? It's all to play for right here. The James Ronald Webster playing field. They are sitting in the Ranford Harrigan Pavilion doing our commentaries. More than mid-off for the left-hander. It's Giovanni Gums. Bowl to Ross Powell, left-handed batsman. Stocky, very powerfully built. Here is Gums to Powell. Powell is covering up. No run resulting. Score remains on 15. 15 for 2. Newman was run out without scoring. First ball of the innings. And then 3 balls later, it was another Lake who was caught. Here is Gums ball to Powell. Powell drives well, 4 runs. To the left of Gums, Joe Gums there, and to the right of the bowler by second boat. And really, he is a man on a mission. He's hitting the ball very fiercely. When he hits it, it stays hit. Ross Powell, that's 4 more.
And certainly that was a fantastic shot again. It was up to him and he just leaned into it and hit it between Joe Gums and the bowler and just down in front of us for 4.
Yes. Score has raced on to 19 in the course of over number 3. 19 for 2. Oh, what a start. Losing took all the wicket, but that one has not deterred. That has not deterred Ross Powell from playing his shots at all. Certainly hasn't. Powell, first game of the APL. Pointers pulling out all their stops, ensuring that they pull this one off. Here is Gums to bowl to Powell. Powell is driving. Gums outstretched hands. Well, stop there by Gums. No run resulting. Score remains on 19. 19 for 2.
And certainly Gums will have to pull back his length because anything up to Powell is into the drive.
Yes. Has to really pull that one back. Here is Gums again to bowl to Powell. Bowl to Powell. Powell is hitting this one in the air over the top of long mid-on 4 more. We were just saying he's carrying the ball up to Powell, and Powell is just coming forward on his front foot and hitting it up and over or through the field. And Gums will be well advised to pull his length back. And Powell is enjoying the bit of the spoil so far.
Yeah, certainly he's hit 4 fours, and if you look at the pattern, once the ball is up to him, he just lets go everything at it. And the young Gums will have to consider the length that he's bowling. The line might be important, but the length will be more important at this time.
Yes. So that's the 3rd boundary for Powell. He moves on to 13. Here is Giovanni Gums again to bowl to Ross Powell. Powell is coming down the track and using his feet on that occasion. Powell out there by in the leg. Misfield, and they're going to come back for a 2. Powell moves on to 15, and the total race is on to 25 at the end of over number 3, an over in which Gums would have conceded 11 runs.
Yeah, so certainly the pointers are going at it. They lost two early wickets, but that has not deterred them from hitting the ball. But if the ball is there to be hit, well, the golden rule is you have to hit it. So they are going to have to read what's taking place and make whatever adjustments they think necessary.
25 for 2 at the end of over number 3, in search of 114 for victory. Shaka Hodge will continue from the Central Polyclinic end to bowl to Walker. Oh, we have seen some lovely shots there already by Powell. Seen him playing on both on and off side. Down the ground, not looking to go too square at all. Here is Shaka Hodge over number 4 to bowl to Oliver Walker. Passes umpire Josiah John, and he's saying to Ross Powell, don't take that on me at all. Don't do that at all. Don't look for any advantage because I will run you out. That's going to become very, very famous for that. Shaka Hodge. Here is Hodge to bowl to Walker. Bowls to Walker. Walker is hitting this in the air. Michael Lewis is coming off the boundary. He's not going to get there. It's it on the 1 bounce. Sends a return. Gets 1 Walker. He moves on to 7, and the total moves on to 26. 26 for 2. Brings the left-hander Ross Powell on strike. As we see some adjustment on the field. Long on, long off. The 2 men out. Bringing the extra cover on the circle. Powell looks around. He's ready. Shaka to bowl. Hodge to bowl to Powell. Powell is driving. He's going to get runs. We're going to get 1 ball. Really didn't look like he had much on that one, but it raced out to the man at long off.
Yeah, anything up to Powell, he's into the drive, so you're going to have to be very careful with the length you're bowling to him.
Moves on to 16. He's on 16. Walker is on 7. It's a 27. The 27 for 2. Over number 4 in progress. Here is Shaka Hodge to bowl to Walker. Walker to this delivery. He's coming forward, wrapped on the pad. APL, just about it. The ball is heading down next side, and it was high as well. Score remains on 27. 27 for 2. Shaka Hodge again. Right arm over the wicket. Passes umpire Josiah John bowl to Walker. Walker is getting back. I know that's a quicker ball. It's a quicker one. And before Walker could have been through his shot, the ball was into the hands of the keeper, looking to whip the bails off. Here is Shaka Hodge again to bowl to Walker. Walker is hitting this one. It's in the air! And over the top of Giovanni Gums. Racing down to the boundary. It's going to get there 4 runs. Giovanni Gums, not the tallest of player, and ball peeling off the outside edge, going over the top of the man there at point and going into the boundary. That goes away for 4, and the runs continue to come for the pointers. It's 31 for 2 in the course of over number 4.
Yes, certain runs are not only coming, they're coming fairly quickly, and that drive is actually teased from the previous ball that was quick, so getting it flighted just outside the off stump, the batter certainly went at it.
Shaka Hodge again to bowl to Walker. Walker's coming forward and covering up, ball coming off the inner portion of the bat, going on to the onside. No run result in the end of over number 4, and at the end of 4, in sort of 114 for victory, it is 31, the pointers, 31 for 2. Powell is on 16. Walker, he is on 11. And afterwards from Ralph Hodge, next commentator you're going to hear is the man, Bryan.
Certainly a game in the making. The 2 batters at the crease. They are really going at it, and they are doing what one would expect them to do. Try and get there as quickly as possible. And once anything is up to Powell is going to put the bat on it, and Walker is always looking for runs, so it's the bowling unit that would have to see how they can manage in terms of containing the 2 batters.
Well, I just mentioned the unit, and here comes a physical unit. It's Daniel Durham, the very tall left arm spinner. He's what, about 6'5", 6'6"? My word, he is tall. Gets a lot of bounce, as you would expect from a tall spinner like himself. Bowls left arm spinner. And that's not something that you would expect from a bowler of that height. But it brings back memories of the man Suleiman Banner for the West Indies. For a number of years, he was very tall as well, but he bowled left arm spinner. Here comes Durham. He is into ball to Ross Powell. Those two know each other very well as Powell turns it away for a single. And it's overthrows. It's giving away runs. They don't have runs to give away. But they're going to come back and get a third. This is horrible fielding right now by the Beamers. They just gave away 2 runs that they don't have.
Yeah, at this point, they have them. It's how long they won't have them.
Well, Powell is 19, and Walker is back onto strike. The score is on to 34. 34 as brings Walker. As there's a spectator who's getting very involved in the proceedings on the field. This is driven straight back down to Durham for no run. You can see that they feel that their square leg he is getting an earful from a spectator down there. Slower there from Durham. Walker pushes it into the offside and he gets a single. Walker moves on to 12. The score moves on by 1 to 35. 35 in the course of the 5th over. As it's going to be Durham again into bowl to Ross Powell. Again, Powell turns it into the leg side for a single. $20 to Powell very quickly. He's on to 20. The score is on to 36. Powell and Durham would know each other very well. They would have played this year in the Leeward Islands setup together. Powell, a top order batsman, Durham a bowler, so they would have had a lot of battles in the nets. And it's sessions for the Leeward Islands. Here comes Daniel Durham once again. He's into ball to Oliver Walker this time. Walker's covering up and pushing back to the bowler for no run. Here comes Durham once again to Oliver Walker. Walker's back and cutting ferociously, but straight to cover. He gets no run. That's going to be the end of the over as well. First of all, for Daniel Durham, it's going to mean that it's 36 for the loss of 2 wickets after 5 overs.
Certainly well bowled over by the lanky left armour. He seemed to have gotten his line and length right. The batsman giving him the respect he was due, and that slowed down the momentum a little, because just before that we saw both batters going quite well, and certainly we know what the word spin means to most batters in the West Indies. It means trouble. So once you get your line and length right, you're going to be in business.
Something that has plagued the West Indian cricket for years now. They just can't play spin. We've seen earlier that Bangladesh have completely ripped apart the West Indies in this ODI series because the West Indies couldn't play spin. It's going to be spin, and more spin here at the JRWP. Here comes Shaka once again, and he's into his 3rd over. He'll be bowling to Ross Powell. Powell is back and trying to cut into the gap. A partial stop there, but they do get a single. And they will give away another run because the throw and completely ate up the wicket keeper, Dion Burton. Horrible throw, I must say. From that distance, you either bounce it in or you just throw it on the full to the chest. If you don't want it, bounced just before the gloves, and they scampered through for an extra run. Powell is on to 22, and the score moves on to 38. It's going to be Shaka once again over the wicket to bowl to Ross Powell. And Powell is going to drive this one straight down the ground, and it's going to be one bounce into the rope, 4 runs.
Certainly, once you go up to Ross Powell, he's going to put the full length of the bat on him. And my thought before that was the long off and the long on. There's too much of a gap between them because he's going straight down the grounds. He's not going across the line of the ball. So we probably will see some adjustment in the long on field, and maybe.
You know, Ross Powell, he's a classy player. He's a very elegant player. Doesn't try to overhit the ball. He times it well. Hodge again to bowl to Powell. And Powell is slugging this one well away over mid-wicket. That one is going to be all the way for 6. A slog sweep, but again, it was elegant. It wasn't a rash, power-filled stroke. It was just timed away for 6.
Yes, certainly it was a mixture of a drive and a slog, is because it went over wide mid-on instead of going in the mid-wicket area. And he judged the line and the length quite well. So he had time to go across it and hit it with all the power that he could have released at that point in time.
Hodge into bowl to Ross Powell, and again he picks this one up, and he's rattled the supporters over there at the square leg stand into the seats for 6 more. Ross Powell is on a mission today. He's raced to 38.
And the 38 quite good runs is because that's 16 thus far of 3 balls and hitting it very well.
53 for 2. Ross Powell is putting on a show here at the JRWP. Hodge into bowl to Ross Powell. And Powell again is slugging and slugging this one. That's beautiful because what he did on that occasion is he saw the long on has been put up and the mid-wicket was put in place. And instead of going over mid-wicket, he went over mid-on. He picked up 4 more runs.
Yeah, certainly that was a gift though, is because it was a full toss right on his legs. He needed not to go across it. He played it as it deserved. Hit it straight through the mid-on area, the wide mid-on area for 4. I thought it was going for 6 anyway.
I don't think Shaka has ever been taken to the cleaners like he is being done today. Ross Powell is having himself a field day with this over. Shaka will have to change it. It goes faster. Powell drives it down the ground powerfully, but long off is in place. They just get a single. The score is 59.
Leon, you're the captain. Come on, man. Come on, man.
The score is 59.
I'll score in the score 59. Stop your noise, boy. She gave me a different score. Just ask her.
At the end of 6 overs, it's 59 for 2. The score 59 for 2. With Ross Powell, he is on what, 40? Is he 45 right now? I have to recheck this one. 45. Yes, he is a 45. I am correct. Oliver Walker is spectating this. It is 59. 59 is the score. A bit of drama as to what the actual score is, but the actual scorer says it's 59, so 59 is the score. It's going to be Daniel Durham again. He will be bowling to Ross Powell. 2 6s enough. Somewhere.
Yeah, 263
Right, for the field he has, it is the end of the power play, so the field is a lot more spread. A deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, deep cover. Flighted by Durham, driven straight to extra cover, no run. This one is going to be clipped into the leg side, going for a quick single. And the throw was a bit high, just missed the top of the off stump. Well, that was a risky run to take there. Walker is back on strike. Score moves on to 60. That's how much you got for Powell? I got 46. Ross Crowley's on to 46 and a flash. As the field does change over to the right-hander in Walker. Durham into ball to Walker. Going to try to drive it straight. Stopped by Lindell Richardson. It is going to be no run. A deep backward scare in place, but no fine leg. And here comes Durham. The ball to Walker and the bounce again. The bounce. That's the height of Daniel Durham. The trajectory that his arm is coming down at. The ball is really rearing off the surface. Then again now Durham. And that was an arm ball. That one completely fooled Walker there. He's a clever bowler, is Daniel Durham. He got bounced on the previous delivery and then tried to sneak in the arm ball. And again now Durham to bowl to Oliver Walker. Walker, this one was a bit fuller. He got onto the front foot and drove it for a single. Walker on to 13. 61 the score. 61 the score at the end of 7 overs. It's 61 for 2.
And quite a nice over there bowled by Durham. A lot of guile in it. The arm ball, the quicker ball, holding it back a bit, giving it a bit more air than previously. And very well bowled. A couple of runs coming from it. And as you said, he is quite a good reminder of Suleiman Ben. And knowing Suleiman, having worked around him for about 3 years in the West Indies under-19 tournament, the most difficult ball to hit from Suleiman Ben was a full toss. Is because of the angle with which he bowled it.
What score that for 6? After 6. Just 2 runs off that over there from Daniel Durham. It will prompt an immediate change in bowling from the Polyclinic end. Hodge was absolutely taken to the sword. So it's going to be Wazim Mentos who will be coming into the attack now. And Walker drives it into the offside. It eats up the fielder of a terrible bounce. So they do get 2 runs. Walker moves on to 15. Mentorson again to bowl to Oliver Walker. He tries to go down the ground. The fielder is coming in, and Oliver Walker has to go. Trying to join the 6-hitting party, he drives one straight into the arms of Daniel Durham, and Oliver Walker has to go. Caught Durham, bowled by Mentos.
I believe Walker thought it was time for he to enjoy himself also, but not the kind of power displayed by the stockier Ross Powell, and he actually played it straight to the guy at long off for an easy catch. He's now going over what should have been done, and some assistance going out. It looked like some mitts for the batsman Rosman Powell, and Carmichael. It looks like the batter who will replace Walker.
They want to keep the power hitting going, I do believe. We'll send out Cheidyn Carmichael next, batting at number 5. Carmichael is a very handy batsman. He can slug a ball as well. Does possess some decent power. And it's going to be Ross Powell on strike, however, and he will be facing Wazim Mentos. Here comes a change in field as a deep backward square leg is put in place. Mentos now into ball to Ross Powell, and Powell is rather casually just driving it down to long on, picking up a single. So on to 47 is Ross Powell. Score moves on to 64. It's Mentos again. And this delivery. Ooh, that one turned. It turned and it beat Cheidyn Carmichael Alkins up. This one, Carmichael is back and picking up a quick single. Score moves on to 65. 65 the score. Mentos is in now, and this one is turned into the leg side. They will get a single. And Powell moving on quickly. He is 48. The score is on to 66. 66 for 2. At the end of the 8th over scorer. Yes, the 8th over. It's 66 for 2. 3, sorry. Yes, so Wicket did fall in the over. Walker did fall. 66 for 3.
Certainly a bit of cool has come to the James Ronald Webster Park. There's a cloud over now, so it will be very refreshing for the fielders and batters and umpires out there. Well, quite a nice over from Mentos just now. You using that bit of experience to actually keep things a bit quiet.
It's going to be Durham once again. They're bowling to Ross Powell. We know how good of a batsman Ross Powell is. We saw how good he was before this innings, and in this innings he's just cemented that reputation that he came with coming in from the Leeward Islands setup. This has been a brilliant innings thus far. Durham, he's into ball now to Powell, turning it into the leg side. Getting one, coming back for the second and getting it easily. That's going to be the half century for Ross Powell. A brilliant innings. He has come in, and in his first game he has shown why he is so highly touted amongst the region. Some of the prospects in the region, he is one of the most highly touted, being back as a replacement in the future for some of the veterans in the Leeward Islands setup, and he has shown why. Another wonderful innings to add to his collection. Durham once again to bowl to Ross Powell. And he is going to get a single. What Powell has done well is he's been able to shift gears easily. When he saw that the bowling from Shaka Hodge was poor, he shifted into attack mode. And now the spinners have come on and they've started to tighten the screws. He's just been able to rotate the strike, knock the ball into the gaps, pick up the singles.
Well, that is certainly sensible batting. You have blunted the attack already, so you now pick up your singles and you stay in cruise mode.
Durham, the ball to Carmichael, and he has knocked him over. Trying to cut to a ball that was much too straight, and he lost his off bail in the process. Cheidyn Carmichael goes for one.
Well, a very strange shot on that occasion. A ball somewhere just outside the off stump. Looked like coming back with the arm, and he's going to cut off the middle and leg stump. So he paid the penalty for it. And you were mentioning, Bryan, about replacement for some of the older players in the leewards. The leeward setup is so poor now that almost anybody with talent would be vying for a place in it. And the leewards of yesteryear do not seem to be the leewards of now. And certainly it would be very important for all our young talent to start making bids for places if we are going to improve cricket in the leewards.
I believe the player that when I was reading earlier in the week about an article written about the leeward island setup, I would have seen that the person that they were touting to replace him was they were telling him to replace Kieran Powell, the veteran left-handed batter from St. Kitts and Nevis. And they were looking at Ross Powell to be his immediate replacement. There's no Kieran, he's a veteran, he's been around for a while. And with them both being left-handers, it would have been easy for Ross Powell to just slot in at that left-hander's opening position that Kieran Powell would vacate.
Well, should you replace a left-hander with a left-hander? That we kind of talk these days about left and right-handers, but I believe once a batter is a good batter, it doesn't matter whether they are right or left.
Official score is 71. 71 is the official score. Ross Powell, he's 51 right now. And he is joined by Garvey Lake, the power hitting batter. Coming in at number 6. Garvey is going to skew this one up. And if he could have picked a blade of grass for that ball to have fallen onto, he would have picked that exact one. It fell between short extra cover, cover point, and cover.
And certainly, Bryan, is one thing I would have said, though, that was very poor fielding. One of those fielders should have at least gotten a hand to that ball.
Well, the ball is certainly gripping and bouncing. As it's going to be Durham again to bowl to Garvey Lake. Garvey Lake is forward and pushing now, straight back to the bowler, getting no run. Good over from Daniel Durham once again. It is 71, I believe. 71 for 3.
Yes, certainly.
For 4, sorry.
In his 3 overs thus far, Durham has bowled exceedingly well. Good length, good line, good flight, good pace, and he mixed it all up and bowled exceedingly well. Brought some respectability to the bowling unit of the Beamers. And we are on 71 for 4, and up to now, with barring Ross Powell, there's a matching.
Good afternoon to the man Hodge, Mr. Hodge.
Yeah, we are fellow commentators, so Ralph will do.
Oh, good afternoon, Ralph. Just the Blowing Point Pointers would have got off to a flyer in the power play. Here's the man who has a Mentos coming to bowl to Ross Powell, who is just chipping it in the air down to the long on fielder. Will pick up a single. Score moves on by 1 to 72. 72 for 4. So that would bring the right-handed power-hitting batsman Gavi Lake on strike. Blowing point pointers would want to finish this in a hurry. Bit overcast here at the James Ronald Webster Park. Here comes Mentos again to bowl to Lake. This time he's just casually pushing it to a point area. Giovanni Gums collects the ball. It's only 1 run. Score moves on to 73. It's been nice going here from the pointers. Mentos comes again. Just going to have to reload that one. Batsman wasn't ready. Here comes Wazim Mentos from the Central Polyclinic and bowls to Ross, who is just nudging that one. He's gonna look for a second, but it's not on. And they will settle for 1. The score moves on to 74. 74 for 4. At the end of... Is it the end of the over?
No.
Discussion taking place there by Wazim and Williams. Probably looking for a plan. Beamer's certainly going to need a plan, Ralph.
Yeah, they will have to have an extraordinary plan too at this point.
Here was him again, tossing the ball from hand to hand, goes past the umpire now, bowls to Lake, who is big heave, and the keeper's taking off the bails, looking for that stump out, but the hand of the umpire doesn't go up. Very quick work there from the man, Dion Burton, at the back of the stumps. We know how quick he is. But Gavi Lake was judged not out. But it was a big swing, a bit agricultural.
Well, generally, Garvey is a power hitter, and he just goes at it. Once he gets the bat on it, there could be some trouble.
Yeah, certainly there could be some trouble. If he had got the bat on that one, would have been gone into the school. Here's Wazim again. Goes past the umpire, bowls to Lake. This is a bit short. And they're going to sneak a single. That was very good running there from the batsmen. They put pressure on the fielder very early and caused him to fumble. He was caught sleeping on the circle.
Yeah, taking his eyes off it too quickly, trying to throw before he can feel the ball.
Certainly. Just a little quiet period here for the pointers. But they did get off to a flyer, scoring some 59 runs in the power play. Here's Wazim again, bowls to Powell, who is hitting that one straight to the man at extra cover. Cannot get a run. And that brings up the end of the over. Over number 1.
The end of a useful over bowl by Mintos. So it appears that even though we are not too far away from the required 114, the Beamers are rallying with their spinners, and apart from the over that cost 23 or so runs from Shaka Hodge, the spinners have been bowling quite well.
Yeah, the spinners have been going quite well, going through the overs quickly as well. End of over number 10, some 75 for 4, chasing a small total of
113, but when you would realize that 5 of those wickets fell between 99 and 104, it makes it a very interesting position. The difference between the two sides at the moment is Ross Powell. That 50 of his, he has played quite well for it, and actually would have given the pointers the better of chances at the moment.
Yeah, certainly that innings was the X-factor innings. Daniel Durham, the tall left-hander, continues. Big heave again from Gavi Lake. But what is very interesting though is the bounce that he's able to extract. Seems as though he's controlling it at his release points. When he releases the ball higher, using his height to his fullest advantage, the ball seems to be kicking off. Certainly seeing that he's extracting something different from the pitch than the other bowlers.
Well, that is because of height for sure.
Here is the left-hander again, bowls to Gavi Lake, who's just touching that one to a cover fielder, can't get a run. Daniel Durham controlling that ball very well and using his height to his advantage. Here is Daniel Durham again, bowls to Gavi Lake, who is looking for the big swing and cannot connect. That is the third time he's looked for that big shot of his, but yet to pull it off.
Well, certainly Gavassi is one place in the mid-wicket region, so no matter where the ball is, he tries to get it at mid-wicket, and it's not working.
I think at the moment he's doing much more damage to his team. Here is Daniel Durham again, bowls to Lake, who's just touching it back. As I was saying, he's doing more damage to his team at the moment, because what he's doing the Beamers a favor by starving the strike from Ross Powell. That could, if he doesn't have the control in his mind, that could get him out probably in the next delivery that he faces. Here is Durham again. Bounce and turn. Nothing. We know Dion to be a very short man, but he took that ball head height.
Yeah, he is a good wicket keeper, right? He has one of the attributes people claim for good wicket keepers, being short.
Here is Daniel Durham again to bowl to Gavi Lake, who is just ooh. Lots of oohs and ahs. Bounce and turn. This time he had to jump to catch that one.
Yes, certainly a lot of bounce, and how well has Durham bowled in his spell. He seemed to have been extracting something that none of the other bowlers so far in this match has done. And we've come to the break, the 10-over break, and the players will be refreshed for a while. And the score is 7-5. We are some 39 runs behind the required target, and it's very interesting. Our scorer Renford Kelsick has said that was a maiden over, and that was due to Durham, how well he bowled throughout his spell. He was getting some turn, he was getting some drift, he was getting some bounce, he varied his pace, and how well has Durham bowled in his spell.
Yeah, he has certainly bowled well. We mentioned Ross Powell's innings and in terms of how it had been an X factor for the blowing point pointers, but that man Daniel Durham certainly seems to be the X factor for the Beamers. That last over he bowled was a maiden, so at the end of 11 overs, 75 for 4. It's still an interesting game from here on because they still have some spin bowling left. Even the man Baba is left to bowl. We know he's very crafty as well, very good thinker when he has the ball in hand. So this game still hangs a little bit in the balance.
Well, certainly, if there wouldn't have been the Ross Powell form, it might have been a different game, because with 39 runs to go, the rest of the batting is very iffy. So you will have to wait and see. But how well has Ross Powell played, and that is, as you said, the X factor, the difference in the game thus far.
Certainly. But just to recap what has happened here at the James Romer Webster Park in the second innings between the Beamers and the blowing point pointers. The pointers got off to a flyer, getting some 59 runs in the power play. That came the last over of the power play was the man Ross Powell going after Shaka Hodge, which scored some 20-yard runs in the over. And then the Beamers have pulled back things a little bit in terms of the slowing down the run rate. So the next 5 overs going for some some 14 runs. The next 5 overs went for some 14 runs. So the Beamers have done extremely well at the end of the power play.
Well, so certainly it has been good cricket, and that's the important thing, is the players have not been as astute as they were in the first APL, but still we are having good cricket. The ball generally dominating the bat at the moment, and from 1 or 2 odd moments in the game, from the Saunders batting or the Ross Powell batting, the bowlers have been on top throughout this match.
Yes, certainly. And we come to the end of the break. Interesting to see who's going to continue the bowling. It looks like it's going to be Wazem Mentos, who will continue from the Central Polyclinic end, along with the man Daniel Durham. Both these left-arm spinners have been doing a very good job in terms of slowing down the run scoring at the end of the power play. So it's just them the spinners to take it through for the next 9 overs. He's going to come over the wicket to Ross Powell. Just making some changes in the field. The men out, deep mid-wicket. A man at cow corner, long on, long off. And a cover fielder sweeping. So Mentos would be tossing the ball from hand to hand. Big smile on his face as always. Very cheerful cricketer. Here is Mentos, goes past the umpire, bowls to Ross Powell, tosses it outside the off stump. He's going to take a sharp single and they will complete the run. Score moves on to 76. 76 for 4 into the cost of over number 12.
I'll come back to you.
Into the cost of over number 12. Here is Gavi Lake on strike. He's had some big swings but yet to make any connection. Cheidyn if he gets connect this over. Here is Mentos again. Bowls Lake. Big swing. It's in the air. And the fielder must have lost the ball in the sun. And that will bounce and go into the boundary for 4. A lot of glum faces out there for the Beamers. The men in yellow cannot believe what just happened. The fielder didn't move, just looked up at the sun, and that's all he saw. The sun, he lost the ball in the sun, and that will cost them, because that would have been another wicket. Here is Mentos again, bowling to Gavi Lake. Another big swing, this time Gavi Lake doesn't connect. Keeper breaks the stumps. Look for the appeal, but not out, says umpire. Very clean work there at the back from the man, Dion Burton. Mentos just slowing it up a little bit there on Gavi. Going through the stroke long before the ball had arrived. Couldn't make any connection this time. Here is Mentos again to bowl to Gavi Lake. Tosses it up again. This time, I think there's a soft appeal. And the bails is off. But I'm not sure what has happened. Is it that it bowled in, or are they appealing for an inside edger? The bail is not on the stump. So it might have been that the ball bowled the batsman, because it did come back. It passed between the batsman bat and his body. So I'm not sure what has happened here. And so are the Beamers. They did appeal. The 2 umpires coming together now to probably make a decision as to what has happened here. That was a very interesting piece of game. And the umpire gives him out. So, still not sure if he's gone out, cut behind or out bowled, but the bail wasn't on the stump. So it looked like the ball just clipping the bail and breaking it off. And the man Gavi Lake has to go. Pointers, lose another wicket. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if it hit the wicket or if it was edge. But Gavi Lake has to go. And the new batsman comes to the wicket. It looks like the man Gomez making his way to the crease. So I'm not sure what transpired, but Gavi Lake is judged out. Could have been cut behind or bowled, but I'm not sure. It was a very interesting piece of game there. But I love what the 2 umpires did. They came together. They were not sure what happened. They came together. And the man at square leg would have had a better view as to what happened. So, confirmation from the man on the camera is that he got bowled. It did hit the stumps. That was a confirmation here. Good, we have the cameraman with us to give us that confirmation. So Gavi Lake was bowled by Wazim Mentos. Just clipping the stump, clipping the bail. And the new man comes to crease is Gomez. So the left-arm spinners seems to still be dominating at the moment. See the man Joe Gomes warming up. Probably he's going to get the opportunity to come into the attack to keep the pressure up. That would certainly boost the confidence of the Beamers. 5 wickets down now. Score 79 for 5. 80, sorry, for 5. Here is Mentos again to continue. Goes past the umpire, bowls to Gomez. First delivery. Oh, in the air. A diving was him. But he couldn't get a hand to it. He get there in slow motion. But he couldn't get a hand to it. And I love to see those things happening. Players putting their body on the line. Showing the passion for the game is still out there. He knew how important that wicket was for his team. Had he taken that catch. And the man Ross Powell comes back on strike after a very long time. So it's interesting to see what is going to happen here now. 81 for 5. Mentos goes past the umpire, bowls to Powell, who is looking to just touch it for a single, can't get no run. Score stays on 81. At the end of the over, it's 81 for 5. Wasim Mentos picking up the wicket of Gavi Lake in his over. Very good over again from Wasim.
Well, certainly from all accounts, the spinners have bowled exceedingly well in this match. 80 for 5, they are well on their way. 12 overs gone, there would be another 8 overs to go, and certainly the important thing in the match is that Ross Powell for the pointers is still there.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Ross Powell is still at the crease, and the pointers will feel some sort of safety with Powell at the crease. So it's going to be the man Joe Gums, better known as Baba, with the ball. Very intelligent cricketer. So he will be bowling to Gomez. Feel for Joe Gums, long on, long off, no sweep on the offside. A deep wood mid wicket and a deep square, but he's gonna go wrong to go behind square. So only 4 fielders out, trying to put some pressure probably on Gomez and keep him on strike for as long as possible. That seems to be the plan there from the men in yellow, the Beamers. They would have to bowl out the pointers if they want to win this game. So Joe Gums ensuring that he had the right field setting, just fine-tuning a little bit. So he's going to bring in the man at long off into a mid-off position. Deep mid-off. Here's Joe Gums, bowls to Gomez. Outside you have some in the air, in the gap as well. And that is going to challenge a boundary, but I don't think it's going to get there. They're going to pick up 2 runs and they're going to look for a 3rd one. That's very good running here from these batsmen. They come back for 3. And that is one of the disadvantages you have when you bring in the field trying to keep a batsman on strike. Once he gets it in the gap, he could either go for 4 or he could get runs. With the little bit of runs they have to play with, I know they're trying to bowl them out, so they're trying to keep the new batsman on strike. But they have to be very careful with the little bit of runs they have remaining.
Well, certainly not a lot of runs, but that was more or less a loose night. It was short and outside the off stump, the field was in, and the batsmen threaded it through quite nicely.
So some changes in the field to accommodate the left-handed Ross Powell. 3 fielders on the offside boundary. That's very interesting, and 1 man on the leg side. Well, 2. Backward point on the boundary. Deep cover. Here's Joe Gums again. Bowls that one. Powell smashes it back down the ground. Looking to pick up 2. He's going to turn and come back. Put the pressure on the fielder. And he was unable to collect that ball. And they will come back for 2. Certainly not in the Beamers' plan. They wanted to get the new batter on strike. A little bit of not clean work there from the man Giovanni Gums, and allowed Powell back on strike. So another change in the field. Shaka Hodge goes on the boundary, and the man at point comes into the circle. Here's Joe Gums again. Bowl to Powell. Hit that one. He's going to look for 2 again because he wants to be on strike. They're going to come back on another fumble. Putting the pressure on the fielder by running the first run hard. This is very good running here from these 2 guys. And he seems to do himself a little bit of damage there, the fielder. Is it Mikey? He's okay. He's back up. So Ross Powell will be on strike again. Cannot get the boundaries from the spinners, so he's looking to convert the ones into 2s.
Yeah, and he's aided by poor fielding. In 2020, as a fielder, you have to hustle.
Hits it down the ground again, looking to come. This time he settles for 1. Fielder does the work cleanly on that occasion. Now the field looks, they're going to bring back in the field for the right-handed Gomez, trying to keep him on strike. Here is Joe Gomes. Ball to Gomez, goes past the umpire, balls to Gomez, who is swinging that one only to find the fielder. A shot mid-wicket. No run. Joe Gomes again goes to past the umpire, balls to Gomez, who's just playing that back one. It's going to be another dot delivery. And that is the end of over number 13. The blowing point pointers are 89 for 5, chasing 114 for victory. 115 for victory, sorry. 89 for 5, chasing 115 for victory at the end of over number 13.
Yeah, it's almost theirs because we're talking 20 plus overs, and the batters don't seem to have a great degree of problem at the moment. I've not seen anything squatting in recent times. I've seen a bit of bounce and a bit of turn, but that would have been from the veteran bowlers. And to add insult to injury is going to be that Mentos' spells should probably soon be over. So they will have to go to somebody else, and they are going to have to find a way, if there are to be any inroads in this match, they're going to have to find a way of getting out Ross Powell.
Certainly. Wasn't Mentos into his last over. Goes past the umpire, balls to Powell, who's just casually playing it down the ground, and will settle for a single out with that. Certainly a matured innings from the man Ross Powell, shifting gears when necessary, accelerating at the right times. Now the runs are in the bag, so he's just going casually now. Wazim Mentos brings in his field for Gomez, trying to keep him on strike. Here's Mentos, goes past the umpire, bowls to Gomez. That one is gone up in the air. I don't think a fielder is going to get there, but Shaka Hodge, oh, close enough, but couldn't get there. And they will come back for a second run. That was in the air for a very long time. No fielder getting a hand to that.
Yeah.
These have chances when you have a small total. You have to take full advantage of them.
I think it was dropped there.
In front of him.
Bounce in front.
Yeah. Here's Wazim Mentos. Goes past the umpire, balls to Gomez again. This time he's just using soft hands to get a single. I don't think that was the best of choice for Fro. You needed to fire that one in. These have chances, you have to take advantage of them, and that would have been the man Ross Powell. The big wicket, the price wicket of Powell. Here is Mentos again. Goes past the umpire, balls to Powell. Powell is just coming casually and getting another single. At this stage of the innings, that's what is required. Just getting the singles and securing the victory. Here is Gomez. Mentos tossing the ball from hand to hand. Goes past the umpire, bowls to Gomez. It's a friendly full toss, and he only finds the fielder on the boundary. A friendly full toss from the man Mentos, and Gomez couldn't put it away, only getting a single. Umpires. Score.
95.
Score is on 95 at the end of over number 15. Is it 14? End of over number 14. 95 for 5. The man Ross Powell still at the crease, looking solid. As long as Ross Powell is there, the Beamers will feel threatened. So they have to think of a way to get him out if they're going to win this game.
And certainly the way he's batting is going to be difficult to get him out, because what he's doing is the correct approach now. He's just milking the bowlers. You know, there's no need to be playing flashy. You flight it nicely. You go in the open space out to long off, around wide extra cover area. You keep picking up the singles, and he's running very hard.
So it looks like it's going to be the man Joe Gums to continue from the commentator's end. Joe Gums will be bowling to right-handed Gomez. The plan that the Beamers had is still not yet coming to pass, trying to keep Gomez on strike as long as possible, but he's been able to rotate the strike quite nicely. Here is Gums bowls to Gomez, who is just playing that one to the fielder. The man at short mid-wicket comes into attendance. No run. Score remains on 95. Just about another 20 runs to get. Here is Joe Gums, bowls to Gomez. Big swing in the air. It looks like he's going to find him, and Wazim Mentos bumps in his hand and goes over for 6. That is unbelievable. Experience Wazim Mentos. Ball went straight to him and he just palmed it over. Somebody should tell him he's not playing volleyball.
Well, certainly he misjudged it. He came in and then he tried to stretch and he could not reach it comfortably. If he would have stayed where he was, flat-footed, it would have been straight down his throat.
Certainly. Was a regulation catch. He made it difficult. Here is Gums. Bowls to Gomez. Gomez looking to finish the game in a hurry, giving the Beamers chances, but they're not grabbing them with both hands. Here is Joe Gums bowls to Gomez again. Big hit. This one is in the air. The man Giovanni Gums seems to be getting under it. He's going to fall in no man land, and that ball is going to run into the boundary for 4 runs. Unbelievable again. Both fielders looking at each other, and the ball just trickles into the boundary for 4.
Certainly ultra poor fielding. There was no effort at all in that case. More effort should have been put into that. And I mean, the ball was carried, yes, and was going away from the fielder all the time, but a bit quicker and more fleet-footed, things could have been very much different.
Here is the man, Joe Gums again. Big hit again. Down in the same area, Wazim Mentos getting under it. And a brilliant! Is it a brilliant catch? Diving forward this time. Wazim Mentos probably thinking that the first one was a bit too easy. I'll just lob it over to the boundary for 6. But a difficult one, I'll grab it. Diving forward, the big man. And Gomez has to go, finally giving chances. And this time, Wazim Mentos with a big dive. And the man Joe Gums picks up a wicket. It's 105 for 6.
Well, certainly we were talking about the catch of the season taken earlier in the Beamers innings, but certainly this catch by Mentos would upgrade that by a long distance. The guy was coming in, the ball was lower and flatter. He had to come forward. There was little control in terms of footing or in terms of hand position, and he came up with a remarkable catch.
Certainly, that was a brilliant catch, diving forward. I think he caught it with one hand.
He took it in his left hand.
In his left hand. I think he's left-handed though, but still taking that catch in one hand, diving forward. A brilliant catch. And the man Gomez innings comes to an end after giving chances to the Beamers. This time, Beamers held on to that one. 6 wickets down. But it's still not the man Ross Powell. He's at the crease still. And as long as Ross Powell is there, the pointers will feel some sort of comfort. Ross Powell will come on strike. Joe Gums will be hoping to get the prize wicket and give his team an opportunity to come out on top in this game. 6 wickets down now. They will need to get another 4 wickets to win this game. Here is Joe Gums here. Just bowls to Ross Powell, who hits it straight to the fielder. Can't get a run. The new batsman comes to the crease. What is the new batsman name? It looks like it's good. The man Solomon, the new batsman in the crease. Rian Solomon joining Ross Powell. Ross Powell playing that anchor innings needed, coming in that vital number 3 position for the Pointers. Score is 105 for 6. And it looks like it's going to be the man Shaka Hodge who's going to bowl that over. Let's hope for the Beamers that all his experience and skill set could come into play. He's going to be bowling to 2 left-handed batters, in that of Rian Solomon and the man Ross Powell. But it's Solomon on strike, about to face his first delivery. Shaka Hodge takes up back the bowling after bowling that number 6 over. Since then, we haven't seen him into the attack.
Yeah.
And they're going to employ a similar strategy to the man Rian Solomon. Try to get him to target into the leg side, bring up the offside field. Tell him if he wants a single, he's going to have to play across the line. Here is Shaka Hodge. A false start. He's going to have to reload that one. The field for him: deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and long on. Everyone else basically in the circle. Here is Shaka Hodge, goes past the umpire, bowls to Solomon. Ooh, the turning, bounce and turn. The Beamers bowlers are getting the pitch to do something. Bounce and turn. And here is Shaka Hodge again, tossing the ball from hand to hand. Goes past the umpire, bowls to Solomon, who is looking for a big swing, takes off the edge. Oh, dropping in front of the fielder. And they will go through for a single. Had that catch been completed, would have been another interesting moment here. The Beamers suddenly playing a little bit casual, not taking advantage of the opportunities. The man Ross Powell is on strike. Here is Shaka Hodge, just working that one behind square. He's gonna go for one, settles for one. The fielder comes in on the boundary. It looked like the man Vigliff Gums coming very quickly and prevent the second run. So he's still challenging the man Ross Powell to hit him in the leg side, but they go through for a single, so it's going to be Solomon on strike. Here is Shaka Hodge to bowl to Solomon, who is just coming forward. Well, coming neither forward nor back. Both foot caught on the crease, and the ball turns past the outside edge. Kept a bit low as well. Here is Shaka Hodge, goes past the umpire, bowls to Solomon, who is just casually playing that through the leg side. Vigliff Gums coming in quickly, and the batsman settles for 1. Score moves on to 107. 107 for 5. For 6. Is it 6? Yeah, 107 for 6. Here is Shaka Hodge again. Goes past the umpire. Bowls to the man Ross Powell, who cannot get a single. Score. At the end of the over, the score is 107 for 6.
107 for 6, some 8 runs away, 2 boundaries, or a maximum and a 2 will do it fine. And certainly I think it should be safely home at the moment, is because all the batsmen have to do is there's so many overs to go. You take your time, you pick up the single, and you just milk the bowling for the remaining 8 runs.
Yeah, certainly. With just 4 overs remaining, should be home sweet home from here. But you know, the Beamers are a very fighting team, not going to give up until the last run is scored. Still trying to keep Solomon on strike. Here is Joe Gums, goes past the umpire, bowls to Solomon, who is just playing again. Ball keeping a bit low, and it's another single. Score moves on to 108. 108 for 6.
So the strategy appears to be the batsman in Solomon just keep it out, and we'll run a single and leave Ross Powell take over.
Certainly. Here's the man, Joe Gums, goes past the umpire, bowls to Ross Powell. Can't get a run. Score stays to 108. But the fielders for the Beamers in the circle, a bit casual. Because when Solomon is on strike, you want to keep him on strike. But he's hitting the ball in the circle and still getting singles.
Well, that has seemed to have been the pattern. I will agree with you, and it should be otherwise.
There is Joe Gums. He's going to have to reload that one to Ross Powell. Probably missed his run-up, and the umpire signals a dead ball. Here is Joe Gums again. Goes past the umpire, bowls to Powell. Big swing down the ground, and it's going to be a single. The man at the long off boundary comes in, does some clean work, and they kind of get another run. Still have sunshine here at the James Ronald Webster Park. The sun just peeping out a little bit. It's been overcast most of the day.
Well, not only sunshine, but very bright sunshine at this point in time, 17 minutes to 6 o'clock.
Certainly. Here is Joe Gums, goes past the umpire, bowls to Solomon, who's going to get a big swing. It's going in the air. The keeper getting under it. They don't think he's going to drop that. And Solomon is gone. And the blowing point pointers lose the 7th wicket. Now, with a small total, sometimes you see teams try certain things because the captain is yet to bat. They try certain things and then it gets into a position where it's a bit too late to come back. What do you have to say about that, Ralph?
Well, certainly the total is so small that
109.
you wouldn't have to worry that much. We are talking about a one shot to finish the match, six runs away. It would be very interesting if there would be a quick wicket fall now to see what will certainly happen. The target is 115. We are on 109. 7 wickets are down, and certainly anything could happen, but probably. But anything is possible, but probably I will say no. Blowing point still in control. 3 wickets to go. A new batter is coming in, and actually it looks like the batter will be the person not facing.
Yeah, that's correct. But in a tournament where net run rate may come in as a factor, you would want to win a game like this convincingly. No, they're cross. They're cross.
No, that rule doesn't come.
That rule will come in.
Before October.
And it's going to be Ross Powell on strike. Joe Gums goes past the umpire, bowls to Ross Powell, who is casually playing that one. They're looking for a single, and they're going to get it quite comfortably in the end. So the Beamers has brought most of the fielders in the circle only having a long off and a man a deep backward square. Now there's going to be a change in the field to accommodate the right-handed batsman, and it looks like everyone is going to be in the circle with just 5 runs to get, just about 5 runs to get for victory for the Pointers. Man Ricardo John will be facing his first delivery, so just a change in the field. Man goes out on the deep mid-wicket boundary. Here is Joe Gums, goes past the umpire, bowls to John. Big swing, and that's going to be a single straight to the man who has a Mentos, who doesn't feel cleanly. And they cross through for a single. And that's the end of over number 17. Just 3 overs left to go. End of over number 17, 110. 110 for 7.
Well, certainly 110. You're talking one shot away from the victory. We will have to see. That's as far as the Pointers is concerned. We will have to see how the new batsman is handling it. Ross Powell giving him some instructions. It does not seem like in terms of batting he is exceptional. But the thing is just get bat on ball, let's run between the wickets and then see where we are after all is done.
Certainly, and there's a change in the bowling from the Central Polyclinic, and it's looked like it's going to be the man Williams who's going to bowl a spin. He goes past the umpire, bowls to John, and I think the appeal goes up, and John is gone. John is gone. Pointers lose the 8th wicket, and small total or not, you get a business to do, you finish with it. Williams. You finish with it, but they're playing around a bit, tweaking the lineup, and they have lost the 8th wicket, and that might just give the Beamers the spark that they needed. A lot of cheers along, so they're looking like they're going to pose a threat to the blowing point pointers after such a beautiful start. 110 for 8 into the course of over number 18. No, I call this one. 110 for 8. First delivery into the 18th over. From the man.
One shot away, 5 runs.
Certainly one shot away, but who is that shot going to come from? Ross Powell is at the non-strikers end at the moment. He's the only one who seems to be going well. And at the non-strikers end, the new batsman, Leon Lake, is on strike. With a vast amount of history behind his cricketing career. But it's all about today. Here's the man Williams, goes past the umpire, bowls again, and he shoulders arms to that delivery, passing very close to his off stump. So there seems to be a very interesting moment. The Beamers, every fielder is in the circle for Leon Lake. Here is Williams again, goes past the umpire, bowls to Lake, who's just touching it for a single. And that should not have been a single, because the purpose of the fielders in the circle is to prevent the run. Ball goes straight to the field and the batsman still cross through for a single.
You're correct. There is no urgency by the fielders in the circle. They know that Leon Lake probably is one of the easiest run-out candidates. He's going to be going for the single, and they should be putting some urgency behind it.
Certainly. They only have 4 runs to play with right now, but they need to get those 2 wickets. So it's going to be a change in the field for the man Ross Powell. He's going to be a man at deep mid-wicket and a man at cow corner, long on, long off. Giving him that single, or would you go to prevent him from getting on strike for the next over?
I will try to prevent him from getting on strike. If he can't thread the field, well then.
And the man Damien bowls to Powell, who comes forward and plays it back into the pitch. Certainly feeling the weight of that team, of the Pointers team there, carrying his bat right through. Here is Damian Williams, tossing the ball from hand to hand, goes past the umpire, bowls to Powell, who makes a big swing, and that could be the end of it all. Over cover, over extra cover, and the ball goes into the boundary for 4, and that's the victory. The Blowing Point Pointers has won the game. Very good fight there from the Beamers, a small total, but they did put up a very good fight in the end, picking up some 8 wickets. Ross Powell left not out.
Certainly a fantastic shot. It was flighted, and that's the type of ball you would want to keep away from at this point in time. Don't give any free shots, and that technical was a free shot. It was flighted outside the off stump. The fielders were in, and once the batsman goes into the shot, certainly good things will happen for the batting side. And a low-scoring match, and quite a match it was. The difference in it was Ross Powell, because apart from Ross Powell, there would have been no signs of a achieving the chase. And I'm certain that he will be proud of his start in Anguilla. A bit of a loose bowling, a bit of a loose feeling, but that is not to take away from the playing of the pointers. And if you take away Ross Powell's knock in this match, it means that we are going to have to do some serious work on the development of our cricket here in Anguilla, because the fielding has been poor, whether it was the ground fielding, the catching, the judging of runs were poor, careless at times, giving away runs unnecessarily. And certainly I think while the APL is going well as a tournament, we are going to have to look at the development of our cricket and the improvement in the things that we have been doing wrong. So well done, pointers. A fight by the Beamers, but there were a couple of things in their way, and a fantastic day of cricket.
Certainly a fantastic day of cricket. The Beamers not taking advantage of the opportunities, and well played innings there from Ross Powell, getting some 69 not out. It was a brilliant innings in the end, and that certainly propelled the victory for the Beamers, for the Pointers. Pointers will enjoy this one.
Yeah, certainly it's something to write home about, is because they won, but it was not in fantastic fashion if you take away the Ross Powell innings. But the important thing is that they won. That is the final thing in cricket. Or in any sport, you're looking to win, and they did what was necessary to win. We did not see the outstanding quality of cricket in the game, and certainly we see so much cricket, and we look at the fielding heroics. We saw some heroics in terms of catching, but the ground fielding has been ultra poor. The batting has been neither here nor there. And certainly the tournament goes on, and well done, pointers. And certainly we are heading into a situation where it will be very interesting to see the final four that will go through to the finals. And certainly I want to thank Renford for leaving the commentary booth and acting as our official scorer. I think he's done a fantastic job, and certainly it will be turned back over to my fellow commentator to do the final word for this match. Beamers versus the Pointers. The match won by 2 wickets by the Pointers.
Why is it final woods? Final woods?
Winning of the match.
So it was certainly a very good match here at the James Ronald Webster Park. The Beamers not coming out victorious, is the Pointers who win by 2 wickets, completing a victory, keeping them at the top of the tables in terms of points in this tournament so far. And we still have sunshine, so if the game had to continue, we would have a complete game. So thank you again for looking at this game here. We'll have cricket again tomorrow. It will be the men in green, the Foreign Stars, playing against the men in orange, the Farrington Super Sixers, with the at 1 o'clock. We'll have the likes of the man Munson Hodge and the hard-hitting Daniel Proctor for the Super Sixers, and you will see on showcase the man Ashley White for the Foreign Stars, and Dion Williams. So it will be an interesting game tomorrow, and thanks again.
And we are now going to send you back over to the studios to continue their regular program.